Chapter 61, Porygon Who Can Speak? Reunion with the trio. This is the second Pokémon Zhang Yu has encountered that can talk, besides Meowth. The first Pokémon that came here doesn't count, because it communicated through supernatural powers. However, seeing the high-tech appearance of Porygon, it is not surprising that the artificial Pokémon can speak. It is probably like an intelligent voice assistant. Yes, I'm your trainer, you can call me Au. Although Zhang Yu felt a little weird, he still briefly introduced himself. After hearing what he said, Porygon's eyes lit up red and scanned Zhang Yu's entire body. Ding Di successfully entered. You will have the permission to use me in the future. My information will be displayed in Pokémon Navigator. After saying this, Porygon quietly floated in the air, waiting for Zhang Yu's instructions. Pilot. Zhang Yu opened the navigator and found it was there. He could see Porygon's information, such as skills and so on. It's really convenient, Pokémon technology. Dong dong dong. Please come in. Probably the person who came to take over had arrived. Zhang Yu retracted the Porygon and turned to look at the figure outside the door. You are a. Meow Meow, who had just entered the room, saw Zhang Yu suddenly pointing at him and started stuttering. Musashi and Kojiro subconsciously wanted to run. Zhang Yu instantly released the Queen of Flowers and used a rattan whip to tie up the hands and feet of the trio. He was a little silent. He didn't expect that he would meet them again in this way. Haha, Au, long time no see. Kojiro smiled awkwardly. Can anyone tell me that the new game consultant is Au? Get lost. Musashi and Meowth looked as if they were doubting their lives. No way, how come they got such a big surprise just after taking over the Game City? How did you become the manager of the Game City? Zhang Yu looked at the trio suspiciously. Damn, there was no way he would enter Team Rocket's lair. Well. Kojiro was at a loss for words for a moment. At this moment, Musashi answered loudly, after we left the Orange Islands, we left Team Rocket, and then we worked hard and were recognized by Boss Sakeke, so. With his brain working rapidly, Musashi came up with a fairly reasonable explanation. That's it, Meow. Meow Meow also agreed, and the three of them tacitly chose not to reveal their identities. Really? Zhang Yu walked around the three people who were tied up together. Deifu. Of course, the Queen Flower also remembered them. She tightened the whip in her hand, and recalled the feeling of the slave master period. Zhang Yu looked at the trio with fear, and finally stopped and said, I'll believe what you said for now, but I hope you guys don't lie to me. Boss Sakeke should have told you that we will be partners from now on. After taking back the female boss, the trio straightened their clothes and sat on the sofa nervously. Well, I will continue my journey, but I can write down the development plan in advance. If you don't understand anything, you can call me. Zhang Yu released Porygon and asked it to record what he was saying and convert it into an electronic file. Finally, it was sent to the email account provided by Kojiro. After getting repeated assurances from the trio that they would not do anything bad, Zhang Yu left the Game City. I don't want to join a gang organization. I hope they can really turn over a new leaf. Musashi, why didn't you shout for help just now, Meow? We are in the base. Meow Meow is a little confused. Idiot Meow. We are tied up. If I call for help, I will probably be beaten away. Besides, this is a project that Boss Sakeke values. If we mess it up, we'll probably be kicked out. Musashi slapped Meowth's head and said angrily. I see. Meow Meow covered the big bump on her head and looked at Musashi with tears in her eyes. The house was quiet for a while. By the way, Musashi, you are tired of being chased around like a fly, right? Kojiro suddenly said this. I want to prove myself to my family, you want to become the champion of the glamour contest, and Meow Meow wants to win back Madonna's heart. These are not just about catching Pokémon in Team Rocket. This time, Boss Sakeke asked us to manage the Game City. Maybe this is an opportunity. Musashi and Meowth were silent, their defenses were somewhat broken. Although she is the daughter of one of the founders of Team Rocket, favors will eventually run out, and Sakeke is now the boss. As long as we can build the Game City, it will be easier to achieve our goals. It's time for a change. The trio seemed to have made up their minds and left the room. Back downstairs, Zhang Yu saw the uncle playing the slot machine using game coins to redeem prizes at the front desk. "Thank you for playing. Your game coins can be exchanged for a Pikachu," the lady at the front desk said to the uncle with a standard smile. "Damn it! How come the game coins I worked so hard to earn are only enough to exchange for a Pikachu that's as valuable as a stray dog on the roadside?" The uncle's face turned red and he took the game coins back. He actually doesn't like playing this game. If the kids at home hadn't been clamoring for EV, and he couldn't catch one in the wild, and could only exchange it in the game city, he wouldn't have come. "You can wait until you have more game coins before redeeming them." The uncle left angrily, and Zhang Yu smiled with relief. As expected, there is motivation only when there are prizes. It seems that new games must also be related to reality. But take your time and see where this trio goes. Now I still have to challenge the gym. Next, Zhang Yu plans to return to Vermilion City. "I almost cleared the level last time, but unfortunately there are too few Pokémon. Now I already have 5 Pokémon. I am still sure to get the Vermilion badge." The journey was a bit far this time, so he chose Pidgeot Airlines. 2 days later, we arrived at Vermilion City. There were still many people in Vermilion City. After resting for a night in the Pokémon Center, Zhang Yu came to the Vermilion Gym again. "Because of the record from last time, I can directly challenge the owner this time. It is quite humane. I heard that the leader of the Withered Leaf Gym, Ma Zishi, is known as a lightning-fast tough guy, so his strength should not be underestimated." Soon, Zhang Yu was led to the battle venue by the staff. "Sir, this way." The staff saluted Ma Zishi and then left. English. Zhang Yu felt that the style of painting was a bit strange. "Hello kid, welcome to the Dead Leaf Gym. Since you can defeat Porter, it means you are very strong. I can't wait to start the fight." Zhang Yu was not used to the conversation mixed with English by Ma Zishi, but he could still understand what Zhang Do was saying. Chapter 62, The Miserable Ma Zishi. And the Saint Nu? 3v3 Standard Gym Match. Ma Zishi casually threw a poke ball. "Come out, naughty Thunder Egg." He had already read Zhang Yu's information and knew that he had obtained 3 badges, so the Pokémon he chose was also an evolved one. "Boss Rhino, I leave it to you." In order to get the Dead Leaf badge, Zhang Yu planned to play it safe and rely on attribute restraint to win. "Hi." The Rhino boss, which was nearly 2 meters long, made Ma Zishi look at it a few more times. "What? How did you grow a Pokémon so big?" Zhang Yu smiled and did not answer. With the referee's whistle, the gym competition officially began. "Naughty Thunder Egg, charge up." Ma Zishi took the lead, and after a crackling sound of electricity, the naughty Liden seemed to be in better spirits. "Increase defense." "One-horned Rhino, use tail shake to lower its defense." Zhang Yu commanded. "Hoo-hoo." The Rhino boss was stunned for a moment, but decided to turn around and shake his little tail. "What?" The naughty Liden saw the long and strong one-horned Rhino shaking its short tail towards him. He felt that his sanity value had dropped. Zhang Yu didn't consider that the one-horned Rhino is already a big one, so wagging its tail seems a bit unsightly. "Never mind, just attack." Rock crit. The Rhino boss turned around, and many rocks gathered around him. "Hi!" The rock was controlled to smash towards the naughty Thunder Egg. Ma Zishi was not panicked at all, because the naughty Liden was very fast. "Move at high speed to dodge. Use rolling." The naughty Thunder Egg dodged the rock attack with a few jumps, and then his body turned into a ball of light and rushed towards the Rhino boss. "No, you want to fight me in close combat? Boss Rhino, take it." Zhang Yu chose to let the Rhino boss take the attack head-on. No matter how fast the naughty Thunder Egg was, the Rhino boss was very strong and was only knocked back 2 steps. "Keep your distance, electromagnetic levitation." Seeing that it was not very effective, Ma Zishi immediately ordered the naughty Liden to hide in the air. Zhang Yu would not let the opportunity slip away. "Want to run? Shoot down." Several rocks fell on the head of naughty Thunder Egg. Although the power was not great, it still caused its electromagnetic levitation to fail. Now, earthquake. While the naughty Liden was struggling on the ground, the one-horned rhinoceros raised its front hoof and stomped heavily on the ground, causing ripples to appear on the ground. MMM. The naughty Liden, who had a laughing expression just now, suddenly became very uncheerful. Oh no! Ma Zishi still underestimated Zhang Yu's ability to adapt to changing circumstances, and also underestimated the toughness of the rhino boss. In that case, Naughty Thunder Egg. Big explosion. Seeing that Naughty Liden couldn't hold on any longer, he decisively chose a strategy that would hurt both sides. It's the same old trick. It doesn't work anymore. Ram it hard. Push it away. Zhang Yu quickly gave the order, and Rhino Boss immediately executed it. Ha! The four sturdy rhino legs exerted force and knocked the Naughty Liden directly into the air. Boom! A dazzling white light burst into the air, accompanied by a huge explosion. Hooray crab! This is fucking crazy! Although the big explosion of Naughty Thunder eggs is often used as a means of consumption. But when he saw that his tactics were so easily cracked, Ma Zishi couldn't help but swear. What kind of bird language are you speaking? Zhang Yu complained in a low voice. Because the unicorn was far away from the center of the explosion, it did not receive much damage and could continue fighting. Ma Zishi's face also became serious. It would be too embarrassing if he was beaten 3-1. The second Pokémon he replaced with his main force, Electabuzz. Right off the bat, it fired a piercing sound that significantly reduced Rhino's defense. Tisk, are you serious now? Zhang Yu didn't care about the decrease in defense. He was already satisfied that Rhino Boss could get rid of the Naughty Thunder Egg. Cricket cacophony, Rhino Boss. Drill straight ahead. Hum. The horn on the Rhino Boss's head spun like an electric drill, and then rushed towards the electric beast. What? So brave. Ma Zishi was afraid to take on the Rhino's charge. Electric beast, get out of the way quickly, and use freezing punch when the time is right. As a Pokémon with fists, Farmer's 3 punches are standard, and Electabuzz dodged sideways the moment Rhino Boss charged. Then, his fist, emitting cold air, struck the Rhino Boss on his back. The effect was outstanding. Hi! The Rhino Boss cried out in pain. Don't be afraid, use Stomp. Now Rhino is only one body length away from Electabuzz, and the previous drill didn't hit him, so the Stomp now doubles the damage. Haha, boy, don't resist in vain. Electabuzz, hold on. Boom. Ah! Electabuzz held up its shield and made a solid impact sound, but was able to withstand Rhino Boss's backward kick. Although it was not hurt, the powerful force caused it to take several steps back. Come back, Rhino Boss. It was obviously difficult for Rhino Boss to deal with a kung fu boy like Electabuzz, so Zhang Yu decisively changed Pokémon. Ba Wang Hua, avenge your past shame. Deifu. I want to hit 10. Last time, as a stinky flower, I fought to the door of the gym owner. This time, the Tyrannosaurus will directly pass the level. Electric Monster, Fire Fist. Ma Zishi directly launched an attack, which was somewhat unethical. As soon as the Amazon was released, and before she could stand firmly, she saw a fistful of fire appear in front of her. Very Queen, hold on. At such a close distance, Zhang Yu could only command the Queen Flower to defend and block the attack. Boom! The flaming fist hit the shield and only produced some sparks. The Queen of Flowers is extremely poisonous. After recovering, Zhang Yu commanded the Queen Flower to spray a mouthful of strong venom on the electric beast. Ah! The electric beast, which originally had electric sparks flashing on its body, now has small purple bubbles all over its body. Oh thanks, Electabuzz, show some energy. Use your flame fist to replace Megatropod for me. Ma Zishi tried to make a last-ditch effort, but he was poisoned and basically useless. I'll just hit him as many times as I can. You want to use the same trick a second time? Tyrantrum, use the Vine Whip to tie up Electabuzz's hands. Then use Sword Dance. Alas, you didn't expect that Zhang Yu didn't plan to kill the electric beast, but chose to tie it up and strengthen himself as much as possible during this period of time. Deifu. Queen Flower tied up Electabuzz tightly, and after its physical strength was completely consumed by the poison, she had performed 3 rounds of Sword Dance. Okay, what a powerful tactic! Ma Zishi's cognition was refreshed once again. How could there be such a sinister person who could watch his electric beast being taken away by the poison and be unable to do anything? It's just like a female office worker who feels powerless when she gets on a train full of perverts. After taking back the unconscious Electabuzz, Ma Zishi took out the last Pokeball. Go ahead, my ace. Hey! A large orange Pikachu appeared on the field. Eh? What is this? Zhang Yu had never seen a Reishu before, so he took out the illustrated book to check. Ding Reishu, an electric-type rat Pokémon. It is the evolved form of Pikachu. Its electric shock exceeds 100,000 volts, and even an Indian elephant will faint if it is shocked. So it's the evolved form of Pikachu. I was wondering why they look so similar. Zhang Yu suddenly realized, however, Amazon has full buffs now, even God will kill you. Reishu, charge beam. Ma Zishi chose a long-range attack. Amazon has already performed 3 rounds of sword dance. If Reishu is touched, it will probably be dead. Hu. Reishu's lightning-shaped tail shoots out a beam of light, and electricity flashes on its body at the same time. Charging while fighting? Tyrant Flower, Magic Leaf. Defu. Vampire ignites several leaves, which then block the charging beam and continue to cut towards Reishu. Shadow Clone. Ma Zishi shouted. Reishu instantly changed from 1 to 3, and the magic leaf only shattered one illusion. Move at high speed. Then use thunder. Leech Hu, Leech Hu. Reishu and its phantom were running quickly on the field, and Vileplume couldn't tell which one was the real one. Since you can't tell them apart, then don't tell them apart. Flower Petal Dance. Zhang Yu was too lazy to guess and directly swept the field with AoE. Use the poison powder and let it spread throughout the venue along with the dance of the petals. Defu. The Queen of Flowers danced with her hands, and the huge grass energy gathered into petals, and finally formed a whirlwind on the field. Combined with the poisonous powder, the picture looked very beautiful. My hair, this is also possible. Ma Zishi didn't know why Zhang Yu had so many tricks in his mind. Helplessly, he could only let Reishu, which was accumulating power, use thunder directly. Crack! A stream of electricity as thick as a bucket fell on the top of Queen Flower's head. Stop the petal dance and hold on. Zhang Yu shouted, with such a thick lightning, even if the grass type has resistance, it will still be seriously injured. Boom! The electric current hit the shield, causing an explosion a few seconds later. Reishu, Iron Tail. Reishu broke through the smoke from the explosion, and its tail glowed silver as it slashed towards the Tyrannosaurus. Ma Zishi's hidden killer move is actually here. Humph, you finally can't help it, Queen Flower, Sunlight Blade. This sword. Can you withstand the power of the 3rd level sword dance? Defu. The Queen Flower had already removed her shield when the thunder caused the explosion. The subsequent electric current damage was greatly weakened, and it directly charged the Sunlight Blade despite the damage. Now, finally the sword is cut. Leech Hu. Reishu was chopped and flew away, and the 3rd sword danced with the Sunlight Blade, so terrifying. Oh my god! Ma Zishi caught the unconscious Reishu. He had to admit that Zhang Yu was the strongest trainer he had seen in recent times. His control of timing and calmness in battle were totally unlike those of a trainer with only 3 badges. What can I say? Dead Leaf Badge, you deserve it. Ma Zishi handed a sun-shaped badge to Zhang Yu. Your tactics are very good, and your Pokémon are also very strong. I am looking forward to fighting with you again. As a veteran, Ma Zishi is no less passionate about fighting than young people. This gym competition made him feel the tension he had not felt for a long time. Zhang Yu put the dead leaf badge back into the badge box. Similarly, Ma Zishi was also the strongest opponent he had encountered so far. Hey, boy, I recognize your strength, so I'll give you this ticket. The Santanyu is a very beautiful ship, I believe you will love it. After Ma Zishi put the boat ticket in Zhang Yu's hand, he said goodbye, it seems that I still have to continue training. I hope that next time we meet, you will not refuse to fight me, ha 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 ha. The Santanu. After leaving the Dead Leaf Gym, Zhang Yu looked at the boat ticket. The departure time was 2 days later. Well, I haven't been on a boat for a long time. It's a good opportunity to take the Pokémon with me to relax. Chapter 63, Porygon Cold Drink Maker and Pokémon Festival. Because Vermilion City is close to the sea, there are already many trainers on the beach playing and training, waiting for the arrival of the Saint Enu. Zhang Yu came to a huge sandy beach not far from the port. The weather is no longer hot and a cool sea breeze is blowing on the beach. It seemed that because of the season, there were fewer ships in Dead Leaf Harbor and it was no longer so crowded. Everyone, come out. When you come to the beach, you have to relax. The Queen Flower, the Black Seahorse, the Rhino Boss, and the Iron Shell Kun all appeared on the beach. Porygon stayed in the navigator in Zhang Yu's hand. Although it was a man-made Pokémon, it seemed to dislike the sea. Are they afraid of water ingress and short circuit? Rosario and Hippocampus are very happy to be at the beach, and the two Pokémon are playing by splashing water on each other. The eldest Rhino was more calm, carrying the iron-shelled eagle on his back and slowly leaving footprints on the beach. Wow, it's great, the sea breeze is just right. Zhang Yu took out a folding chair and a folding table from his backpack. Anyway, they were placed in the other dimension, making them easy to carry. ZZ. I took a sip of the tree juice, but it wasn't iced, which was a bit of a shame. Hey! Oh, by the way, I remember Porygon can use freezing wind. Zhang Yu put the navigator against the glass. Excuse me, Porygon, but use the least powerful ice wind. The pilot flashed, and with a dripping sound, a stream of icy mist enveloped the glass. A thin layer of ice formed on the drink after a few seconds. Great! Thank you, Porygon. Zhang Yu took a sip of the iced tree juice, and then Geu lay down on the folding chair. Defo. The Queen Flower came over with the Black Seahorse and looked at the iced juice on the table curiously. You want to drink too? Oh, come to think of it, it seems like you've never had an iced drink. Zhang Yu called all the Pokémon over, took out glasses, and made 5 cups of juice. Then I'll trouble you again, Porygon. Boo! Porygon crawled out of the navigator, its body spinning, an icy mist spread like a shower. After a few seconds, its face became icy cold. That's amazing! Zhang Yu touched Porygon's mechanical head. Did he thank you for your compliment? I'm very happy. Porygon's mechanical voice sounded, and its body floated up and down, probably expressing a happy emotion. Hey, this is for you, this is for you. Zhang Yu handed the drink to Amazona, and Amazona wrapped the glass with a vine whip and brought it to the mouths of several Pokémon who had difficulty holding things. Really? Hand the food to your mouth. ZZ. Even the hungry Taikikan drank the iced drink through a straw. Defo. The Queen of Flowers holds a drink and seems to like the iced flavor very much. By the way, Porygon, can you eat or drink anything? Zhang Yu didn't see it eating or charging itself, so how did it stay active? Diddy, don't worry, I don't need to eat to stay alive. But it won't have any effect if I eat. Zhang Yu's questions answered by Porygon. Perpetual motion machine? Wow! Pokémon technology, boy! Out of humanitarianism, Zhang Yu still gave it a drink. He couldn't bear to let his Pokémon work without eating. Just enjoyed a relaxing day. In the afternoon of the next day, the sun shone on the calm sea, creating golden ripples. A low and long humming sound came from the distant port. As the sound gradually approached, a huge and magnificent ship appeared in people's sight. Wow, what a beautiful ship! Exclaimed the people waiting to board. There were many trainers in Vermilion City who got boat tickets. After the Saint Anu docked, Zhang Yu followed the crowd and boarded the ship. First of all, welcome everyone. I am the captain of the Saint Antenu. Please allow me to introduce the route of this voyage. Ma Zishi was once the captain of this ship, so it makes sense for him to have a ticket. After Zhang Yu arrived at his room, the loudspeaker in the corridor began to sound. This luxury cruise ship departs from Vermilion Port. After leaving the estuary, it will pass through half of the Kanto region, including Crimson Island and Asakusa City, and finally return to Vermilion City. Zhang Yu didn't plan to complete the entire journey. He wanted to get off the boat in Qianhong City and challenge the Qianhong Gym. Skin. A Pippi poked its head out of the open door, looked at Zhang Yu, and then disappeared out the door. Whose Pippi ran out by himself? Zhang Yu went out to take a look and found that there were only some trainers chatting in the corridor, and Pippi was gone. He then closed the door. The captain's voice continued in the loudspeaker, in order to promote friendly exchanges among everyone and make the voyage less boring, there will be a Pokémon Fun Festival on the deck at 8 o'clock tonight. Everyone can come and participate. Zhang Yu boarded the ship at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and rested in the room for a few hours. During this time, a waiter brought him dinner and Pokémon food. Of course, this is also the number that has been registered in advance. 8 p.m. The Pokémon Festival started on time. The third-floor lounge and deck of the Santanu were filled with Pokémon and trainers. Everyone gathered together to exchange breeding experiences and play mini-games. Of course, Pokémon that are too large are not allowed to be released, unless you are a water or flying-type Pokémon that can follow the ship. The Queen of Flowers was still holding the black seahorse, and Zhang Yu also wanted to put the iron-shelled kun in its hands, but as soon as the Queen of Flowers hugged the iron-shelled kun, the latter struggled hard in the cocoon. With no other choice, he had to be held by Zhang Yu. Porygon did not continue to stay in the navigator, but floated beside him. Little brother, is this your black seahorse? It looks very strong. Just as Zhang Yu was looking around, a middle-aged man in a lace shirt came over and started talking. Is it strong? It has certainly been exercising recently. Zhang Yu smiled, squatted down and looked at the black seahorse. Hi. The black seahorse had been in the same position in the hands of the queen flower for a long time, and seemed a little tired. He stretched out his curled tail. After Zhang Yu said he was fat, he started to control his diet and went out for swimming whenever he had a chance. Now the fat belly is gone and the tail has become stronger. That's great. My black seahorse is very lazy. He just sleeps and eats every day. He has become as fat as a ball. The uncle pointed to the blue ball in his arms. Haha. The blue ball yawned, buried its head and continued to sleep. Oh my god, that turned out to be a black seahorse? It was so round that I thought it was Lulilai. Zhang Yu was greatly shocked. Hehe, it's okay, being able to eat is a blessing. Polka dots are cute too. Zhang Yu forced to explain. Ha. That's not what you said to me at that time. Zhang Yu's Mo Haima felt that he was being treated differently. Defu he's still handsome when he's thin, Mohema is the most handsome. Queen Flower comforted the black seahorse in her hand. The child was still young and ignorant, but it could still understand what Zhang Yu meant. Ahaha, really? Hearing you say that, I'm no longer troubled. The uncle laughed heartily and gently patted the belly of the sleeping black seahorse. Pippi, where are you? Suddenly, the sound of searching for Pokémon was heard on the deck. Zhang Yu and the uncle looked ahead and saw a young man in red sportswear looking around. Pippi. Zhang Yu thought of the one he had peeked at the door before. Was it this boy's? Chapter 64, Pippi the Troublemaker. And the proud evolution of the black seahorse. Pippi, come out quickly and stop making trouble. The shouts of the boy in red attracted the attention of the people on the deck. At this moment, a crackling sound suddenly came from the stern of the cruise ship, instantly attracting everyone's attention. Everyone looked in the direction of the sound and saw a slightly fat middle-aged man in a white chef's uniform chasing the petite and agile pink figure in front of him with an angry look on his face. Don't run! You troublemaker! Give me back my chef's hat! The fat uncle shouted angrily while running breathlessly. However, the little pink figure showed no intention of stopping, but instead jumped forward even more happily. From time to time, he would make a sound like pi as if he was deliberately provoking the fat uncle who was chasing him closely. There was a lot of chaos along the way, referring to Turbot and Caterpie. Soon they arrived at where Zhang Yu was. Pippi. The boy in red took out the Pokeball and was about to take back Pippi. But the mischievous Pippi jumped over the boy's head and avoided the red light of the Pokeball. Pippi-yalu. Pippi, wearing a chef's hat, turned around and stuck out his tongue at everyone. Damn it! You guy! The boy looked at everyone pointing at him. The fat chef was still panting and bending over, his face flushed. Be good! He pounced towards Pippi suddenly. P. Pippi had already run to the edge of the deck, but was startled by the boy's pounce, and his feet slipped, and he suddenly fell off the deck. Pippi! It's over! The crowd watching the fun didn't expect things to turn out like this. They all hurried to the deck to check the situation. Zhang Yu and the uncle in the lace shirt also came over. If Pippi couldn't swim on such a high boat, her life would be in danger. It was past 8 o'clock in the evening and the sea was pitch black. The boy was desperate and jumped in to look for it. Hey! What's the point of you going down there? Send out the water Pokémon to search for it. An ant nearby stopped him and reminded him. Yeah. I almost forgot. But then the boy's face drooped again, but I only have one Pokémon, Pippi. It's okay. I'll help you. The fat chef no longer cared about being teased and was the first to release his agate jellyfish to search. I'm coming too. The trainers with water-type Pokémon on the ship released them one after another to search for Pippi that had fallen into the sea. Mohama, are you going too? Zhang Yu looked at the restless Mohama and asked. Ha! How can I not appear bravely at this time? The black seahorse suddenly jumped out of the queen flower's hand and jumped into the sea. This kid! Why did he become so pushy? Very queen, let's go to the bottom floor and check out the situation. Zhang Yu was a little anxious. How could Mohama jump as soon as he said so? Everyone saw Zhang Yu running to the bottom floor and followed him. Magic shine! Look where all the Pokémon are. The queen flower is shining brightly, just like a huge light bulb. Others also took out flashlights or glowing Pokémon to illuminate the sea. Calling out the name of your Pokémon. 10 minutes later. Pigilyalu. A familiar voice suddenly sounded from the side of the boat. Haha. A powerful jet of water burst out of the water, pushing a chubby pink Pokémon out of the water and onto the boat. Pippi. The boy shouted in surprise, just as he was about to go over. Puff. The black seahorse emerged from the sea, flicked its tail, did a few backflips in the air, landed on Pippi's belly, and squeezed out a mouthful of water. This kid! Why is he so impulsive? Zhang Yu hurried over, hugged Mohama, and said in an angry tone. P. The boy also reacted and ran to Pippi's side. Looking at the weak Pippi, Zhang Yu said helplessly, Overlord Flower, use the pollen ball to treat Pippi. Although Zhang Yu didn't like the naughty Pippi, he still asked the queen flower to treat him. It was a piece of cake. Deifu. A minute later, Pippi returned to normal. Woo woo woo, you are such a troublemaker. The boy came to his senses and cried out in shock. Skin. Pippi knew that he had made a big mistake and lay listlessly in the boy's arms. Thank you so much for your ink seahorse. My name is Akakawa. May I ask what your name is, benefactor? Akakawa put the obedient Pippi back into the poke ball, clasped his hands together and thanked Zhang Yu. You're welcome. It's all thanks to Ink Seahorse. Just call me a you. Your Pokémon is really too naughty. You need to discipline it more. Zhang Yu said there was no need to thank him, but if Pippi, who was so naughty, didn't change, something bad would happen sooner or later. The onlookers gradually took back their Pokémon. My friend, your seahorse is really powerful. It can push Pippi onto the boat with just the water gun. That's great. No loss of water Pokémon. There was a classic post-war praise session, but of course there was also criticism of Akagawa for his poor discipline. The young man also humbly accepted. The black seahorse was not shy and stood up to accept everyone's praise. Ha! The expression of the black seahorse is based on the soldier Wang Yu's hung in the bright sword. Zhang Yu looked at Mohaima's proud look and could only smile dotingly. Okay, come back Mohaima, you did a great job today. Just as he was about to put the ink seahorse back into the poke ball, a white light suddenly flashed before his eyes. This is... A few seconds later, a brand new Pokémon appeared in Zhang Yu's arms. Diddy Seaspur, a dragon Pokémon. It is the evolved form of seahorse. It has a violent personality. If you accidentally touch it, you will be stabbed by the thorns all over its body and faint. Beep touch. Sea Thorn Dragon Factory New made a fierce roar. The body length has become 60 meters, and the weight has reached kilograms. Zhang Yu couldn't hold the sea dragon anymore, so he put it on the ground. It's a sea thorn dragon. So awesome! The onlookers and Akakawa were all surprised. Wow, it evolved already? Zhang Yu felt that the way his Pokémon evolved was really special. The unicorn worm evolved by eating, the seahorse evolved by being praised, who will be the next? However, it is a good thing after all. Zhang Yu touched the head of the sea thorn dragon and found that its skin was much rougher, which was not as comfortable as the bald head of the black seahorse. After a while, the crowd slowly dispersed. After the small riot ended, the Pokémon festival continued and ended at 10 p.m. Back to room. Sea Thorn Dragon. The next evolution will be the Thorn Dragon King, I'm really looking forward to it. Zhang Yu lay on the bed and slowly closed his eyes. In the space backpack, a scale was flashing a faint light. Chapter 65. After 2 days of sailing at sea, the Saint Anu arrived at the port of Light Red City and planned to stay for half a day to replenish supplies and inspect the ship. The reason was that during driving, we hit a small reef. Fortunately, it was just a scratch and nothing serious happened. Zhang Yu also took advantage of the stay to leave the cruise ship and relax for a while. He couldn't enjoy himself all the time. He had already obtained 4 badges, and he wanted to get 8 badges as soon as possible before the next Quartz conference. Light Red City is not big, about the same size as Cerulean City, but it has a much larger flow of people than the latter. Zhang Yu first came to the Pokémon Center, but there were 2 children arguing loudly at the door. Pidgeot, my favorite Pokémon. I'll just use my wings to attack, and then use a flying return to knock your crossbat away. When Zhang Yu approached, he heard one of the little boys saying. But the little girl on the other side was unconvinced and retorted loudly, no way. Idiot Asuka. You can only attack recklessly. My dad said that in Pokémon battles, you must seize the opportunity to make a fatal blow. Your father is wrong. My father is the master of Kikyo Gym. He taught me how to fight like this. Asu's voice also got louder. My dad is also a gym owner. Even more powerful than your dad. The little girl and the little boy began to argue about whose father was more powerful. Zhang Yu found this scene quite interesting. My dad dares to eat shit. Would your dad dare to do that? The little girl used her ultimate move and looked at Asu with pride. Your father is here. The little boy pointed behind the little girl and then quickly slipped away. Humph, you're such a coward. You can't win the argument but still want to lie to me. Lolyalu. Axing. A man in his 30s was standing behind the little girl, Asing, smiling. Wow. Dad, why did you suddenly appear? Asing's face turned pale instantly and she turned away trembling. The man squatted down and said something to Asing, and the child shook even more violently. I'm sorry, everyone. I didn't discipline my daughter well, and I made you all laugh. The man picked up Asing and jumped away from the crowd. My god, how can a Pokémon jump several meters high? Zhang Yu watched the entire scene and was finally surprised by the man's physical skills. But, the owner? That's normal. Just now, both Axing and Asu said that their fathers were gym leaders. He also checked and found that the Kikyo Gym was in the Chengdu area, so Axing's father was probably the gym leader of the Crimson Gym. Zhang Yu entered the Pokémon Center and checked all his Pokémon. After there were no more problems, I followed the map and headed towards the Crimson Gym. However, unlike many gyms he had seen, the Light Red Gym was more like a huge mansion, with many winding alleys in addition to houses. Boom boom boom. I knocked on the door for a while, but no one answered, not even a guide. Is anyone there? I'm here to challenge the trainer of the Crimson Gym. Zhang Yu shouted a few more times, but still no one responded. Is it in another room? He clearly saw the man taking Asing towards the gym. Following the alley next to him, Zhang Yu bumped into a transparent wall with a thud. Ouch! It hurts? Why is there a wall? Covering his head and touching the air wall in front of him, Zhang Yu was a little confused. There are also. Holding on to the air wall and groping slowly, Zhang Yu suspected that this was a test before challenging the gym, just like he had to defeat 3 trainers before challenging Ma Zishi. Half an hour later, Zhang Yu had no idea where he was. The walls around him were the same, and he seemed to have forgotten the route he took to get in. Damn, I won't be trapped here. Zhang Yu wanted Porygon to fly into the air to see what was going on, but there was also a transparent wall above his head. With no other options, he could only continue groping. It was still early, and he didn't believe that he would be trapped to death. Finally, after more than 10 minutes, Zhang Yu heard a familiar voice. Asing. You did a great job. You actually told other kids that you dared to eat X. And you shouted so loudly. I don't even have the face to open a gym now. You must throw darts at me 1,000 times today. The man's angry voice came, and Zhang Yu hurriedly called for help. Didn't I ask you to put up a sign saying that the challenge is suspended today? Aju looked at Asing in confusion. Well, I accidentally broke the sign when I was practicing darts. Asing answered timidly and stole a glance at her father's expression. You kid. You really piss me off. Aju was speechless. She was obviously a very well-behaved child, so how come she had such a naughty daughter? Beep. After pressing the remote control of the mobile phone, Ah Sing glared at her and told her to practice well. Aju walked towards the source of the call for help. Huh? The wall disappeared. Zhang Yu touched around him and found that the air wall was gone. At the same time, the man he had just seen appeared in front of him. I'm sorry, I'm Aju, the master of the Crimson Gym. What can I do for you? Aju and Axing were in the backyard, so they didn't know that Zhang Yu was the challenger. Hello, my name is Yu, and I want to challenge the Crimson Gym. But when I found no one at the door, I wanted to come in to look for him, but I was trapped by the air wall. Zhang Yu took out the badge box and explained why he was here. I see. What a coincidence. Sorry to have embarrassed you. I was planning to go to the hunting area with my child today, so I closed the gym. The owner of the museum, Aju, suddenly thought of something. Oh, right. Can you go to the hunting grounds with Seeing instead of me? I'll pay for it, and you just need to take her to catch a Zubat. The child's mother is coming this afternoon, and I have to go pick her up, but I promised Ah Sing, so it's not very convenient. Aju seemed a little embarrassed, but he trusted Zhang Yu very much. After all, he was a trainer who had challenged 4 gyms, so he was reliable. Hunting zone. It was the first time Zhang Yu heard of it. Aju guessed that Zhang Yu was not a local, so he explained, in short, in addition to fighting, you can use the specified Pokeballs to capture Pokémon. Sounds like fun. After Aju agreed to Zhang Yu's request to accept the challenge tomorrow, Zhang Yu took Axing and prepared to go to the hunting area. Catching Pokémon with children shouldn't be a problem. The little girl didn't care who was leading her, as long as she stopped training in dart throwing. She followed Zhang Yu happily. Well, the hunting zone, we should go north. Zhang Yu followed the map to find the destination, but he found it very quickly. There were no turns on the road. Walking straight to the end, you will see a house and a wall that stretches as far as the eye can see. I opened the door and walked in. An old man was dozing off. Chapter 66, The Battle to Conquer the Hunting Zone. Hey! Wake up, Uncle Baobab! Just when Zhang Yu was about to wake up the sleeping uncle, Ah Sing jumped onto the table and shouted loudly. The uncle named Baobab was suddenly awakened and almost fell off the bench. What? It's Ah Sing. Why didn't your father bring you here today? Baobab rubbed his eyes, yawned and said. Because Dad suddenly received a call from Mom this afternoon and had to go pick her up, so he asked this brother to bring me here. Ah Sing jumped down from the table and walked to Zhang Yu's side. Yes, hello, I'm Au, and I'm here at the request of the owner of the Aju Pavilion. I just happened to want to try the hunting zone as well. This is my Pokémon. Just now at the gym, Zhang Yu had already understood the rules of the hunting zone, so he took out the Pokémon without Baobab telling him. Okay, it seems you already understand the rules, so I don't have to repeat them. Here I'll give you a fishing rod, and some berries to use as bait. Baobab took out an old fishing rod and gave it to Zhang Yu, and also took out some blue-orange fruits and peach fruits. These 2 kinds of fruits are quite common, and he doesn't have any Pokémon with picky tastes. There are 30 hunting balls left. Please keep them. Don't forget the time. Baobab took out another box of Pokeballs and gave it to Zhang Yu. Aju called me before you came, so you don't have to pay, you can go in directly. After expressing his gratitude, Zhang Yu took Ah Sing by the hand and entered the gate of the hunting area. The hunting area is very wide, with no end in sight. The grass and trees are very dense, and there are only a few winding paths leading to various places. Ah Sing looked very confident just now, but now she is a little nervous and holds Zhang Yu's hand tightly. It was also the first time that Zhang Yu tried to catch a Pokémon with his bare hands without fighting, and he was also a little nervous. Bo! A Bobo suddenly flew out from the bushes, startling the 2 of them. Zhang Yu subconsciously threw a hunting ball over and hit Bobo accurately. Beep, beep, beep. The Pokeball fell to the ground, shook a few times, and then made a sound indicating that it had been successfully captured. Huh? It's successful already. Zhang Yu was a little surprised. No, is it really that easy to capture Pokémon? Wow! Big Brother is awesome. Ah Xing reacted quickly, ran over quickly, took the hunting ball and handed it to Zhang Yu. Hee, good luck, good luck. Zhang Yu put the poke ball into the box and said modestly that his luck in fishing had been very bad in the past. Could it be that his luck had turned around this time? After this little episode, the two were no longer so nervous and continued to explore the hunting area. They encountered a lot of Pokémon afterwards, but they were all Pidgeot, Spearow, Rattata, and the like, and neither Zhang Yu nor Ah Xing wanted to capture them. They were not the only two in the hunting area. There were other trainers scattered around. Zhang Yu saw a young man hit Spearow with a pokeball and then held the pokeball in his arms, refusing to let it open. Finally conquered the Spearow. Zhang Yu, who witnessed all this, twitched his lips, feeling that he had gained more strange knowledge about conquering people. The two walked a long way and found a cave entrance on a small hill in front of them. Big brother, shall we go in? Ah Xing was a little scared. Although she had been trained to throw darts in the dark, exploring caves was still a bit difficult for a 5-year-old girl. If you want to catch Zubat, you can only find it in the dark cave. Zhang Yu took out a flashlight, which he had asked Uncle Baoba for in order to explore the cave. Now it comes in handy. After all, Aju had promised, so how could she stand still? She held Ah Xing's hand tightly and walked straight into the cave. After entering, I found that the cave was not as dark as it looked from the outside. There was some faint light shining in from inside. Puff, swoosh. After walking for a few minutes, a Zubat flew past the two of them, but because it happened so suddenly, Zhang Yu and Ah Xing didn't have time to throw the poke ball. Oh, what a pity! Ah Xing sighed. Well. Hey! Don't we bring tree fruits? Why don't we use the fruits to lure them? Zhang Yu came up with an idea. The two quickly set up. 10 minutes later, the sound of flapping wings was heard. The two people hiding in the distance held their breath and waited nervously. A Zubat landed next to the fruit tree. It was discussing the meaning of life with its companions, but suddenly it felt hungry and started looking for food everywhere. Now it understands that the meaning of life is to get something to eat. Although the Zubat can use ultrasound to check if there is any danger around it, it has long been too lazy to check after living a comfortable life in the hunting zone. Good chance. Just when Zubat was eating happily, a pokeball flew over. It was so scared that it took off quickly and avoided being captured. Squeak. Fortunately, I am agile. There's more. Ah Xing then threw the hunting ball and hit the Zubat, who was rejoicing. As the saying goes, if you survive a disaster, you will have the final blow, and Zubat perfectly embodies this point. Hurry and hold down the poke ball, don't let it run away. Zhang Yu rushed over and grabbed the shaking poke ball with all his strength. Ah Xing also came to help. In the end, Zubat's 2 wings were no match for the 4 hands, and it was successfully subdued. Yay! I got Zubat! Ah Xing happily jumped around holding the hunting ball. Ha ha ha, Ah Xing is awesome! Zhang Yu also praised the happy child. However, the two were still in the cave, and now that they had accomplished their goal, they could go back. Brother, aren't you going to capture some Pokémon? There are still a lot of balls left, and it's not time yet. Ah Xing reminded. Well, that's right, now that I'm here. Zhang Yu made up his mind and continued to explore forward with Ah Xing. I don't know how many turns I took along the way. When the two came out of the cave, they also subdued a lazy arm wrestler and a greedy sand rat. Hey, where is this? Zhang Yu looked at the lake in front of him, somewhat surprised. Ah Xing had never been here before. She looked ahead and saw some water Pokémon swimming in the lake. Diddy Riding Dragon, a Pokémon that can understand human language and has a high level of intelligence. It has a gentle personality and doesn't like fighting. It is a Pokémon that likes to carry people on its back. Zhang Yu still had the pilot on his hand, and pointed it at a blue, elegant-looking Pokémon in the lake. Woo! Chenglong also spotted Zhang Yu and Ah Xing by the lake and swam over curiously. It has lived in this lake since it was born. When it became an adult, its parents left here. The goldfish said that they followed humans to travel. And I can only swim around in this lake, it's so boring. Chapter 67. Curious Baby rides a dragon and competes with the light red gym. A Pokémon that likes to carry people on its back. Zhang Yu looked at the broad carapace of the dragon, which had some ridges on it, perfect for hanging things. Perfect sea voyage essential Pokémon. This time I had to accept it. Just as Zhang Yu was about to move forward, Ah Xing stopped him. Big brother, I know this Pokémon. If you feed it berries, it will be very happy. Oh, right. I almost forgot the description in the illustrated book. Since it has a gentle personality and is smart, isn't it a great opportunity to improve its favorability by feeding it tree fruits? Zhang Yu patted Ah Xing's head and said, thank you so much for your reminder. I'll treat you to my secret iced juice when we get back. Then he took out the peach fruit from the bag. The sweet fruit is the favorite of most Pokémon. Woo! Looking at the pink fruit handed to it by the human in front of it, Chenglong was a little confused. It had the ability to sense human emotions, and the human in front of it had no ill will towards it. Although the fruit smells delicious, it has never eaten tree fruit since it was born. When it is hungry, it eats carp kingfish, which are more abundant in the lake than water plants. There is more bones than meat, so sometimes the dragon would rather eat aquatic plants. Try it, peach fruit is very sweet. To coax the child, Zhang held the fruit forward and said bewitchingly. In the end, Chenglong couldn't resist the temptation of the fragrance and opened his mouth to take a small sip. Woo! It's so delicious, my family. Chenglong felt like he had discovered a new world and ate the peach fruit quickly. Then he looked at Zhang Yu with shining eyes. Just eat it if you like it. I have more. Eat more. Zhang Yu took out another blue-orange fruit. Seeing that it was a different fruit from before, Chenglong ate it all in one gulp. Different flavor. Seeing that it was eating happily, Zhang Yu took out some more fruits. Xiao Chenglong, I have a lot of delicious food here. Do you want to travel with me? The world outside is very rich. Zhang Yu sent out the devil's whisper, and the effect was outstanding. Woo! Chenglong had long since had enough of staying here and wanted to go out traveling like his parents, so after taking a big bite of the fruit, he nodded at Zhang Yu. Oh, what a good boy! He took out a hunting ball and placed it on the dragon's head. It was captured without even a shake. Great! I successfully captured the dragon. Imitating the way Ah Xing had subdued Zubat just now, Zhang Yu shouted with great momentum. Ah Xing blushed. Was she so stupid just now? Zhang Yu was very thick-skinned and didn't care about Ah Xing's strange look. There are still a lot of balls left. Then, let's start the campaign to capture them. There are 2 hours left in the hunting zone. Zhang Yu and Ah Xing started a crazy conquest mode. I caught everything flying in the sky, running on the ground, and swimming in the water. In addition to the Pokémon I caught before, I also caught several Magikarp, Goldfish, Magnemite, and Slowpoke. Ah Xing and Zhang Yu both had a lot of fun, but Ah Xing only liked poison-type Pokémon, so in the end she just got her own Zubat. After the two came out of the hunting area, Zhang Yu retrieved his deposited Pokémon and items. Bye-bye Uncle Baba. After saying goodbye to the administrator, Zhang Yu sent Ah Xing back to the Qianhong gym. This time there was someone there. Ah Ju and his wife were eating in the house. Mom and Dad. I caught Zubat. Ah Xing threw herself into her mother's arms. Ha ha ha, baby is amazing. Ah Ju also wanted to invite Zhang Yu to dinner, but was declined. I still have a lot of Pokémon here. I need to go to the Pokémon Center to transport them away first. I won't eat for now. Zhang Yu said goodbye to Ah Ju's family and rushed to the Pokémon Center. Why should he just join in the fun when others were having a reunion? The hunting ball is different from the normal Poke Ball. After capturing a Pokémon, it cannot be opened again and can only be converted into a normal Poke Ball. Small settings added by myself. Otherwise, it would be inconvenient to carry a large bag of Poke Balls, as the Pokémon would starve to death if they stayed in the ball for a long time without eating. Hello Professor Uchiki, this is Au. I caught a lot of Pokémon in the hunting area in the Guandu area. Now I need to teleport to your side. Zhang Yu called the Niimu Research Institute. The person who answered the phone was the doctor's assistant. The doctor himself went back to do research. Au, it's me. It's okay, just teleport over here. The assistant still remembered Zhang Yu. After all, the food had improved a lot in those days. Yes, thank you then. I won't bother Professor Uchiki with the money for the Pokémon's meals. I'll send it over. I'll also send some Kanto specialties to the professor and you guys for you to try. After all, feeding so many Pokémon every day is a big expense. You can't always trouble others to provide you with food. Ha ha ha, you're too polite, Au. Okay, let's not talk about it for now. I have something else to do. Just send it to me. It's okay. After hanging up the phone, Zhang Yu used the Pokémon Center's teleporter to teleport all the hunting balls over, leaving only Dragonite. After using the converter to convert the hunting ball into a normal ball, Zhang Yu now has a full complement of 6 Pokémon. Now there are Queen Flower, Sea Thorn Dragon, One-Horned Rhino, Iron Shell Kun, Porygon, and Dragonite. The properties are quite rich. If you need it, you can also take back the captured Pokémon from the professor at any time. When we arrived at the port of Light Red City, the Saint Antenna had already left. Zhang Yu walked to the beach and released Chenglong. Ugh! Looking at the brand new scenery in front of him, the ships and houses in the distance, the people and Pokémon he had never seen before, Dragonite widened his eyes and could not wait to slide his tail fin into the sea. Zhang Yu followed and sat on its back. It was indeed very spacious and comfortable. He hung his backpack on the raised shell of the dragon's back and lay down. Woo! Although there was an extra weight on its back, Chenglong did not feel uncomfortable. The weight of a human was nothing to it. As the dragon swims, ripples appear on the sea water, and the sun shines on the sparkling water, forming beautiful golden light bands. After a while, perhaps because it had had enough fun, it swam back to the beach. Zhang Yu jumped off its back and took out his specially made Pokémon food to feed it. Release other Pokémon and get to know new partners. Ha! The Sea Thorn Dragon took the initiative to introduce everyone to Chenglong. Wu Chenglong listened carefully to what the big brother said. Da Fu the Queen Flower said not to be nervous and took out the nectar on her head to share with the little newbie. Seeing that his Pokémon were so sensible, Zhang Yu felt relieved. After eating and drinking, it's time to get down to business. Crimson Gym, Poison Type. Zhang Yu returned to the Pokémon Center and thought about tomorrow's battle strategy. Chapter 68. Ninja Aju, an old 6 Zhang Yu. When Zhang Yu arrived at the Qianhong Gym, Aju had been waiting there for a long time. This is the thank you gift I promised to give to Ah Xing yesterday. I made a few extra portions so you can all enjoy it together. Zhang Yu took out a few glasses of juice from his backpack, put them on a plate and brought them over. Thank you for your help, Chenglong. Woo! He released Dragonite from the Pokeball and used a small gust of freezing wind on the juice in the tray. Soon the juice turned into iced juice. But Ah Xing might have smelled something and came out from somewhere. Wow! It's iced juice. Thank you, big brother. Ah Xing was drinking juice with his Zubat. The Zubat was a glutton. After being tamed by Ah Xing, it ate a few fruits and quickly adapted to the new life. Master Aju, come and drink too. There's still a lot left. Zhang Yu called Aju to come over and join them. Aju wanted to maintain his image, but seeing his daughter so happy, he smiled helplessly and walked over. Special flavor, did you make it specially for me, Au? Aju took a bite and found the taste was wonderful, as if the juice was hitting his tongue in his mouth. Yes, I call it Super Brave Juice. It has magical powers and will make you energetic after drinking it. Zhang Yu added the nectar of the Queen Flower into it. This way, he could concentrate more when playing in the gym. After the sharing time ended, the gym competition officially began. Ah Xing volunteered to be the referee to be lazy and not want to train. Beep. Ah Xing blew the whistle hard, announcing the start of the game. Boom. Aju suddenly threw a smoke bomb under his feet. After the smoke cleared, he changed into a ninja outfit. Au, this is my strongest form. You have to be careful. Tisk. How should I put it? This is full of middle school feeling. Zhang Yu's expression was a little awkward. No wonder your daughter said that about you behind your back. It turns out you also like to do these fancy things. It's decided to be you. Boss Rhino. Tyrannosaurus has fought in many battles, and now it's time to give other Pokémon more training. Resist poison? Good choice. Double bomb gas. Go ahead. Aju was wearing a mask, which made his voice sound a little muffled. Use poison gas. The double bomb gas floated in the air, and purple gas continued to spew out from the raised chimney-shaped holes above. Soon it filled the entire venue. Hoo-ha! The rhino boss also smelled the smell. He looked very uncomfortable and kept shaking his head. This smell will be poisonous if you smell it too much. You can't stay on the field all the time. Rhino boss uses dig. Zhang Yu quickly thought of a solution. Rumble, the rhino boss used his front legs to quickly dig the ground under his feet, and soon dug a big hole and crawled into it. Humph, do you think I can do nothing if you hide in the cave? Double bomb gas and use hot air on the cave entrance. Aju deliberately kept the double bomb gas away from the cave entrance to avoid being hit by the suddenly rising unicorn rhinoceros. Puff! Hot gas drilled in from the hole. However, after a few minutes, the scene remained unchanged and the one-horned rhino did not come out of the hole. Aju was a little confused. Aren't you afraid of even gas attacks? What he didn't know was that after the unicorn rhinoceros entered the cave, it had blocked its way with rocks. He himself was frantically using sword dance to intensify his attacks underground. It's almost time now. Aju had a bad feeling and hurriedly commanded, double bomb gas, move away from the cave entrance and fly into the sky. Do you realize it? Boss Rhino! Rock blast! Zhang Yu suddenly shouted, and the rhino boss underground heard the trainer's voice and borrowed the power of digging a hole. He broke out of the ground from the other side of the venue in an instant. Dozens of rocks of different sizes appeared beside the body and quickly shot towards the double bomb gas. Use sludge attack to block it. Navis sprayed a large amount of purple mud from his two mouths, intercepting the stones flying in the air. However, despite this, some of them still slipped through the net and hit its body. Although the rock attribute attack is not double the poison attribute, the damage is still explosive after being enhanced by the sword dance. Shuangbomb gas felt so much pain that his body was shaking and he was about to fall from the air. Although he was the ninja, Aju felt that the opponent's tactics were much more sinister than his own. It was too outrageous to hide underground and use sword dance. Now is the time to give the fallen dog a beating. Zhang Yu continued to command, shoot it down, shoot it down. The rhino boss roared in a deep voice. Several rocks instantly appeared above the head of the double bomb gas, smashing it directly to the ground. Super corner strike. The rhino boss suddenly exerted force on his hind legs, and the sharp horns on his head glowed and became much longer. Then he rushed straight towards the double bomb gas. Humph, do you really think I have no means of counterattack? We share the same fate. As a ninja, you need to trade one for one with your opponent when necessary. Although Shuangdan Gas was a little exhausted, his eyes still glowed red as he looked at the unicorn in front of him. The charging one-horned rhinoceros felt that he was enveloped by a mysterious power. The super horn attack successfully hit and took away double bullet gas's consciousness, but at this moment Rhino Boss also fainted. Zhang Yu didn't expect the opponent to have this trick, which was even more useful than the Big Bang. And there was no after swing, so it was too late for him to stop it. As expected of the ninja Aju gym leader, he commands so decisively. Aju blushed when he heard the compliment. In fact, he was unable to beat the other party, so he used the same life as the other party. Ahem. You're strong too. My Pokémon below is this one, Muddy Slime. Both of them retrieved their unconscious Pokémon. Aju was the first to release the stinky mud. As soon as he appeared, the air became foul. Zhang Yu looked at the unknown purple creature in front of him and felt a little nauseous. The smell was comparable to the stench of the stinky flower. Zhang Yu quickly took out his gas mask and dared to breathe deeply. Oh, I didn't want to use Queen Flower, but the smell is too unbearable. Zhang Yu took out the poke ball, a red light flashed, and the veteran Tyrannosaurus appeared again. Defo. The Tyrannosaurus frowned. But it didn't have any other big reactions. It might also be related to the fact that the grass-type Pokémon has the ability to purify the air. By duo. Stinky Mud made some meaningless noises. Aju and Asing looked normal, as if they had gotten used to the stench. No. No wonder Aju turned into a ninja and put on a face mask, it turned out to be to cover up the bad smell. Masaka. Is this also part of your plan, Master Aju? Zhang Yu gave the other person a thumbs up in his heart. Since both of them released their Pokémon, Aju took the lead in attacking. Stinky Mud, Mud Wave. By duo. Stinky Mud once again whispered the ancient god's words, and a circle of purple ripples emanated. Because it was a large-scale attack, it was difficult for the queen flower to dodge. So Zhang Yu prepared to let it take this move. But it was just ordinary damage. The queen of flowers also has poisonous properties, so it was not poisoned. The moment the sludge wave stopped, Zhang Yu immediately gave the order. Very queen. Mix the powder. Deifu. Colorful powder emanated from the petals on its head, but Aju was not afraid at all. Powder-type moves are outdated. Stinky mud, throw mud. Large clumps of purple mud were scattered by the stinky mud, covering the powder in the air and falling to the ground. That's amazing. This was the first time that Zhang Yu's tactics were cracked. In that case, energy ball. The Queen of Flowers rolled out green balls with her backhand and threw them out. Boom boom boom. The speed of the stinky mud was not fast, and even though it tried to dodge, it was still blown away by the mud. The whole place looks like a septic tank. Damn it, the immobilization technique. Aju can't let the queen flower bombard the place anymore, the stinky mud is about to turn into mud. Jojo Mud made a cross in front of him, and the energy ball in Amazon's hand suddenly disappeared into the air. Deifu. The Tyrantrum was stunned for a moment. It felt as if the power in its body for this move was suddenly restrained and it could not be used. Use the strange light at maximum power. While Amazon was distracted, Aju commanded Chaochu to fight back. Beiduo. Chapter 69, The Stinky Mud that was defeated by himself has his first battle with the Sea Dragon. Although Zhang Yu wanted Amazon to use the grass slide to avoid the strange light. However, a large area of light spots still covered the body of Queen of Flowers. Deifu. Amazon felt as if she was drunk, her head was dizzy and she couldn't control herself. Hateful. Zhang Yu felt a little awkward. In this state, Amazon couldn't hear his command at all. Ha ha ha, it's now. Stinky Mud, Pounce. Pounce is an insect-type skill. If it hits, even if the Queen of Flowers is very strong, it will suffer a lot. Baiduo. Choshouni made strange noises like a pervert and quickly rushed towards the Queen of Flowers who was spinning in circles. The slimy body moved around the venue, making a clattering sound. Wake up, Amazon! Zhang Yu tried to wake up the confused Amazon, but it was no use. Zizi. Suddenly, Jojo Ni stopped. Aju looked at the dazed Jojo Ni and was confused for a moment. Huh? That's it. Zhang Yu discovered the problem. He looked at the mud scattered on the ground and smiled. Isn't this the mud that was covered with powder just now? When the stinky mud pounced on him, it naturally got stained with the mud on the ground. Since it would absorb anything, it naturally absorbed the sleeping powder and paralysis powder in the mud. Fallen into an abnormal state. After Aju realized what was happening, he was also a little confused. No, how can I be in an abnormal state like this? I can only say that the absorption capacity of stinky mud is amazing. Deifu. After a moment of confusion, Queen Flower finally woke up and looked at the sleeping Jojo Mud in front of her with a confused look on her face. Come back, muddy smelly, the final decision is yours, gulp. Aju was speechless. He took back the sleeping Chaochu Ni. He estimated that he would not wake up for a while, so he could only send out Zubat to fight. Zhang Yu was also a little amused. He didn't expect that Amazon would win in this way. Golbat, here I am, Sea Thorn Dragon. Zhang Yu took back the Queen Flower. It would be safer to face Zubat, which has a flying type. It would also give the Seahorse, which had just evolved into Sea Thorn, some exercise. Beep touch. After evolving into a Sea Thorn Dragon, the Black Seahorse's original show-off character has been restrained and it has become much more stable. But it could also be that he was trying to hold back a big one? Big-mouthed bat, screeching noise. Aju feels that this sea dragon has the aura of a strong man. Instead of choosing to attack directly, he weakened the opponent's condition first. A sound like nails scratching a blackboard came from the mouth of the gnat. The Sea Thorn Dragon showed an uncomfortable expression. I hate this kind of noise the most. Sea Thorn Dragon. Pray for rain. Zhang Yu covered his ears and shouted, this skill that even trainers would be affected was too abominable. Beep touch. The sea dragon condensed a ball of water from its mouth and sprayed it into the air. Suddenly, a small cumulonimbus cloud appeared on the field. Drip, drip. It started to rain lightly. Squeak. The sound of Zubat's cry is hard to translate, so I used the sound of Zubat for brevity. The wings of the big mouth bat were also wet by the rain, affecting its flying condition. What a good plan! Ultrasound. Aju frowned. The rainy weather had a great impact on Zubat's flight. But now that things have come to this, I have no choice but to go ahead with it. Bah! Circles of yellow light waves came out of the huge mouth of the net and shot towards the sea dragon on the ground. Move at high speed! Zhang Yu commanded, and the sea thorn dragon reacted instantly, dodging the ultrasonic wave with a flash. The first attack missed. Aju commanded again. Air blade! The big mouth bat flapped its wings, and several sharp air blades slashed at the sea dragon. Tornado! Zhang Yu did not let the sea dragon continue to hide, but used a tornado to roll up the rain in the venue. The high-speed rotating tornado also swept the air blade into it. The big mouth bat flapped its wings desperately to escape its attraction. Don't try to dodge. Serve! After evolving, the black seahorse has mastered more moves. Beep touch! The sea thorn dragon leaped violently. A huge wave of rainwater appeared under its tail and rushed towards the big mouth man who was trying to avoid it in the air. Damn it! Use fly! Aju had no good way to deal with it, so he could only let Zubat fly higher. The surf hit the field, causing a large splash of water. The toxic sludge on the site had already flowed into the sewer with the rain, so the sea dragon was not affected. Aju had a headache. Zubat's flying system was greatly restricted in the rain, and its venom skills were washed away by the rain. Damn it! Is the image of a strong father that he had worked so hard to establish in front of his daughter going to be destroyed? Never mind. Zubat! Use the power of flying and use Brave Bird to attack. Aju yelled. We can't delay any longer, just do it. Bah! Zubat circled in the air for a few rounds, and then its entire body turned into a ball of blue light, and it rushed towards the sea dragon with an unstoppable momentum. Zhang Yu saw the opponent's big move, and subconsciously ordered the sea dragon to dodge. Beep touch! The sea dragon looked at Zhang Yu and shook his head, his eyes full of determination. After its evolution, it did not become calmer, but became more interested in fighting with the strong. Looking into the eyes of the sea dragon, Zhang Yu felt its determination. You want to fight head-on, okay. I understand. In that case, the water flow breaks. Hearing the command, the sea dragon suddenly jumped up in the rain, and the rain sprinkled on his body, as if he was wearing a water battle suit. The blue energy also wrapped around its body and rushed towards the giant bat in the sky. Two blue figures, one from top to bottom, the other from bottom to top, collided fiercely. Crack! A flash of lightning passed through the dark clouds in the sky, and the sea thorn dragon and the big mouth bat fell from the sky. The light on his body faded away. Beep! Golbat loses his ability to fight, sea dragon wins. Ah Sing blew the whistle and announced the result of the game. Did you lose after all? Aju had already guessed the result. After all, his flying type was not at an advantage. In addition, due to the influence of the rain, the power of his moves had decreased. The opponent's sea thorn dragon's water-based moves are more powerful on rainy days, so victory is inevitable. Great! Sea thorn dragon! We won! Beep touch! The sea thorn dragon nodded. Although he was pretending to be an expert, it was obvious that he was very happy. Sing, I'm sorry, Dad embarrassed himself in front of you. Dad, it's okay. Isn't it normal to win or lose? You are still the best in my heart. Ah Sing didn't feel anything. She ran over with her little legs and started to comfort Aju. After putting away the sea thorn dragon, Zhang Yu also walked over. Looking at the loving father and filial daughter scene in front of him, he breathed a sigh of relief. If Aju had done something sentimental, he would not have been able to ask for the badge. Ayu, this is a pink badge. You are very strong. I hope to see your wonderful performance at this year's Quartz Conference. After all, Aju is the gym owner and is used to being defeated by challengers. This is just the first time he has done this in front of his daughter. Zhang Yu took the heart-shaped badge and put it into the badge box. Actually, my Pokémon is the one that works harder. I've also learned a lot from gym leader Aju. I won't write about the commercial bragging. In short, the challenge journey of the Crimson Gym has come to an end. Zhang Yu, who had just subdued the dragon, did not plan to take the boat this time. He wanted to ride the dragon directly from Qianhong City and swim to Honglian Island. Chapter 70, Chenglong Seafood Store and Undersea Treasures. Then, thank you for your help. Woo! Zhang Yu turned over and jumped onto the broad back of the dragon. After sitting firmly, he gently patted its scales, indicating that it was time to set off. As the dragon flapped its tail fin, they gradually moved away from the port of Qianhong City and headed towards Honglian Island. I have to say, riding a Pokémon is awesome. The weather at sea was very good. The sun shone on the sparkling sea, reflecting a golden glow. The breeze brushed his cheeks, bringing a cool feeling, and Zhang Yu lay down comfortably. Please give me a glass of iced juice. Zhang Yu raised the cup in his hand, and Chenglong turned around and blew a breath of freezing wind. Zizi. Phew, what a happy life. Seathorn Dragon, give you some to drink too. Zhang Yu made another glass of juice and held it in his hand. The sea dragon swimming in the sea exerted its tail slightly and jumped onto the back of the dragon. It also drank. Beep. Except for the rhino, other Pokémon were also released by Zhang Yu to enjoy the scenery of the sea together. Deifu. It was the first time for Queen Flower to travel on the sea. She looked around and was curious about everything on the sea. There are many trainers who ride water-type Pokémon on the sea. Zhang Yu saw some creatures lying on the heads of venomous jellyfish, some riding on the backs of water arrow turtles, and even some surfing with giant flying fish wings. Compared to them, riding a dragon by myself is a more standard way of traveling. Although the sea is beautiful, the scenery is repetitive and you will get tired of it after watching it for a long time. Looking at the ships and trainers coming and going, Zhang Yu suddenly had an idea. Hey! Why not open a mobile food store? We're just sitting around doing nothing anyway. Why not make some money? Zhang Yu perfectly demonstrated the fine tradition of our ancestors of not pursuing enjoyment. After a while of fiddling around on the dragon's back, a small shed was soon erected. Fix the 4 legs on the protrusions of the carapace on the dragon's back, then take out a small table to lock it in. If you need anything, just take it out of the space backpack. A simple mobile shop has been built. Zhang Yu tied a ribbon around Chenglong's neck with the words Chenglong Fast Food Restaurant written on it. Come and take a look, come and take a look, our shop is opening today. All food is 8% off. Zhang Yu shouted loudly. Sea Dragon was not idle either. It swam quickly to other Pokémon to advertise. Soon the shop welcomed its first customer. Alfong had been planning to ride his howler whale to visit Crimson City, but he didn't bring enough food with him. Now, with only half a day left to go, his stomach could no longer hold on. I thought I would starve until night, but unexpectedly there was a light at the end of the tunnel. He quickly rode his roaring whale over. Boss, what do you have to eat? Give me some. Ah Fang couldn't wait to ask Zhang Yu. Hello, guest. You can take a look at our recipes. Zhang Yu pointed to the sign on the dragon's back, which had a list of dishes and a sentence at the end, if you bring your own ingredients, you can only pay the processing fee. Wow! Then I want one, superb green onion duck rice, I want a large portion. Ah Fang thought about it, ordered the food, and then rode on his roaring whale and waited. Since they are all water-type riding Pokémon, they can float steadily on the water. Zhang Yu took out a pot calmly, while Tyrannosaurus and Sea Dragon took on the task of washing vegetables in perfect harmony. You know, these 2 Pokémon were already proficient in this job before they evolved. At the same time, Porygon floated quietly by the side, using charging moves to provide a steady stream of power to the induction cooker. All you could hear was a sizzling sound and the oil temperature in the pot gradually rose. Then, Zhang Yu quickly threw the chopped green onions and ginger slices into the hot oil, and the aroma filled the air instantly. Then he poured in the carefully processed duck meat and drizzled some cooking wine to remove the fishy smell. After the duck meat was fried, Zhang Yu directed Chenglong to release the freezing wind to cool the freshly steamed rice. The cooled rice is then gently added to the pan and stir-fried with the tender and juicy duck meat. After just 10 minutes, a mouth-watering superb green onion duck rice is ready. Thank you for your patronage, it's only 15 poke coins. Zhang Yu said to Ah Fang, while Amazon used a rattan whip to bring the dishes over. Ah Fang, who had been waiting anxiously by the side, could no longer contain his excitement and his saliva kept flowing. After all, for him who had never tasted fried food, such an alluring aroma was simply irresistible. At this time, the rich aroma of food attracted many Pokémon trainers who were sailing on the sea like a magnetic force towards the North Pole. What's that smell? It smells so good. Gurgle, I'm so hungry, it seems like there's a gourmet restaurant on the sea over there. Not everyone was as hungry as Fang. Most of the trainers who were attracted chose desserts and drinks. This is your delicious QQT. And your emerald splash. In order to attract attention, Zhang Yu gave the desserts some outrageous names. Because there is a special waterway between Qianhong City and Honglian Island, there is no need to worry about getting lost when moving forward. The sea voyage lasted a day and a night. Zhang Yu did not worry about running out of food. He stopped operating the shop after most of the ingredients were sold out. Some trainers who didn't buy it still feel very regretful. All of his Pokémon had worked hard today. After having dinner with them, Zhang Yu put all of his Pokémon back into the ball. Don't rush tonight. It's still in time to leave tomorrow. But the sea dragon was still very energetic. After saying hello to Zhang Yu, it swam towards the depths of the sea. Beeb. As a Pokémon that lives in the deep sea, it has rarely returned to its happy home since being captured. This time I can go back and reminisce about my lost youth. After the sea dragon swam several hundred meters deep, it saw spots of light flashing on the seabed that looked like a huge coral reef. With a flick of its dorsal fin and a flick of its tail, the sea dragon swam over curiously, wanting to see what was glowing. When we got closer to the coral reef, we found that they were a few lanternfish fighting. Me. Faced with the sudden appearance of the sea dragon, the timid lanternfish were scared and fled in all directions. Although lanternfish is a Pokémon from Chengdu, it sometimes swims around with the ocean currents. Beeb. Just when the sea dragon was feeling bored and wanted to leave, a few flashes of light caught its attention. This time it wasn't a lanternfish. When the sea dragon found the source of the flash, it suddenly discovered that there were several golden beads lying in the crevices of the coral reef. After rolling the beads away with its tail, the real source of light was revealed underneath a ball of pink hair wrapped in bubbles. Chapter 71. Mysterious Pokémon? And an invitation from the Red Lotus Research Institute. The next morning, the sun had just risen and the soft sunlight sprinkled on the sparkling sea. Gollum. Suddenly, ripples appeared on the calm sea surface, followed by the sound of splashing water. A nimble sea dragon leaped out of the water and landed steadily on the broad back of the dragon. Ah, good morning, Chenglong. Zhang Yu yawned, slowly opened his eyes and stretched his body hard. Although he slept well last night, he still felt some pain in his neck because he was not lying on a comfortable bed. Woo! Chenglong also greeted Zhang Yu. Unlike humans, Chenglong is used to sleeping directly on the water surface. This unique sleeping posture is somewhat similar to those horses that can sleep standing up. Beeb. The sea thorn dragon let out a cry, and then carefully placed the items it had harvested last night in front of Zhang Yu. A few golden beads and a ball of soft pink hair were gently dropped by the sea dragon using its flexible tail. Eh? What is this? Is this the treasure you brought up from the bottom of the sea? Zhang Yu curiously picked up a golden bead and pointed it towards the sun, which was shining with golden light. I looked at it for a long time but couldn't figure out what material it was made of, so I could only put it in my backpack. Then he picked up the ball of pink hair again. It was soft, and he rubbed it with his hands, but it didn't loosen up. The hair exuded a mysterious aura, and Zhang Yu had a hunch that this thing was more valuable than the golden beads. Put this ball of hair together with the scales that the sea god had given you before and put them in your backpack. Zhang Yu rode his dragon to Honglian Island again. He would not sell anything today and would try to reach his destination before dark. Shortly after Zhang Yu left, a pink cat-like Pokémon emerged from the water, covered with a layer of protective shield and not wet by the sea water. Mayo. Shaking its body, the mysterious Pokémon seemed to have a headache, as it had recently started to lose its hair again. It scratched its body with its little paws, rolled the fallen hair into a small pink ball, and threw it into the sea. Then his figure flashed and disappeared into the sea in an instant, as if he had never been there. As evening approached, Zhang Yu finally saw the outline of Honglian Island. He patted Chenglong's neck and signaled it to swim in that direction. There is a twin island next to Honglian Island, but Zhang Yu didn't want to waste time, so he ignored it. There is a huge active volcano on Honglian Island, but it has not erupted for many years. People settled here and established Honglian town. Later, due to the existence of volcanic hot springs, it developed into a tourist resort. Honglian Gym was built in Honglian town. The volcano on Crimson Island erupted about 3 years after Zai's journey, destroying all buildings except the Pokémon Center. After this incident, the Crimson Gym moved to a cave on the Twin Islands. From the Pokémon Encyclopedia. When Zhang Yu arrived at Honglian Island, it was already completely dark. Although there were still many trainers playing on the beach, he wanted to go to the Pokémon Center to rest first, mainly because he didn't sleep well last night. Drib. Zhang Yu had just laid down when the navigator called. Could it be Lilia? I answered the phone with doubts. Hello? Who is that? Good evening, Consultant Au. I'm Miao. Didn't you provide the game plan before? We have already made a prototype. When are you free to come to Yeheng City? Miao Miao's voice came from the phone, but the news it brought surprised Zhang Yu a little. How long has it been? Only a week or so, and you've already got a prototype? 1 + 1 = 201. Sure. Miao Miao, you guys are very efficient. But I'm currently on Red Lotus Island. I'll go back after I challenge the Red Lotus Gym. We'll see then. Zhang Yu replied that if things went well, they would probably be able to return to Yeheng City next week. Red Lotus Island. Kojiro picked up the phone. Don't worry, Au, Game City has invested in the Red Lotus Research Institute. I'll contact their person in charge later. You can go to the Research Institute and see if there has been some progress in the Pokémon network. Kojiro brought another piece of important news. Really? They even built a network. Zhang Yu was a little confused. Pokémon technology was too advanced. After promising Kojiro that he would go and check it out himself, he hung up the phone. Other side. Kojiro, why did you let Au go to the Research Institute, Miao? Miao Miao was puzzled. Kojiro said confidently, because I have already reported this to Boss Itaki last time. The boss is very interested in the progress of the game. So he asked Au to go to the Research Institute to provide some guidance. I didn't expect to catch up this time. So that's how it is, Miao. It seems that the boss really likes this game called Pokémon World. Miao Miao nodded in sudden realization. But it still has doubts about this game. Is this game really that attractive? An underground laboratory somewhere in Nyajima. Boss, the dreamlike fluctuations have been detected again in the waters of Honglian Island. A man dressed as a doctor said to Sakeke. Dream. I'm not that interested in it now. Sakeke looked at the transparent nutrition tank in front of him. There was a strange-looking Pokémon inside, with tubes inserted all over its body. However, if there are more Mutuo genes, Mutuo can be improved. By the way, Dr. Fuji, how is the research on the mental link between Porygon and Mutuo going? Sakeke turned to Dr. Fuji, who had just reported on his work, and asked. Dr. Fuji looked a little excited when talking about this. It's going very smoothly. If nothing goes wrong, the Pokémon network will probably be ready before the Quartz conference begins. But now we have to conduct a pilot project. Sakeke waved his hand. This is a small problem, don't worry, take your time, I want a perfect, online world. After Zhang Yu's careful analysis last time, Sakeke had a big change in his heart. From the current plan, it seems that it is not difficult to make money in the Pokémon world. He knows a lot of rich people, so it's normal for him to compare with others. Therefore, when it comes to powerful equipment released in the game, the rich people will definitely look at them one by one and buy them crazily, like taking drugs. The consumption of wealthy people will also drive the consumption of ordinary people. Where there are luxury goods, there are naturally ordinary goods. Comparison is something that everyone, whether rich or ordinary, will do. Unless you have no desires or demands. He now wants to build a world where the Pokémon network is completely under his control. As for controlling reality, it is indeed a bit difficult, not only to catch the beasts, but also to deal with the Alliance. It is too energy consuming. And their rocket team just happened to have Pokémon like Mutuo and Porygon, which were of great help in building the online world. Because of this, he still values Zhang Yu very much. The last time Kojiro came to him to report the situation, he also revealed that Zhang Yu did not want to join Team Rocket. As for talents, Sakaki has always valued them, let alone Zhang Yu who has a complete understanding of the internet. This is mainly because the Pokémon world has basically no knowledge of the internet, and in the current timeline, even Zai has not traveled. So after hearing Kojiro's report, he also had the idea of whitewashing Team Rocket. Not only for Zhang Yu's surrender, but also for smoother promotion of the network after whitewashing. After all, the Alliance is still the boss. However, we still need to think carefully about how to widen it. Seeing Boss Sakaka lost in thought, Dr. Fuji waited for a long time and finally couldn't help but said, "Boss, I have another question to report. We have made great progress in infiltrating the Chengdu area. But in Fengyuan area, they were blocked by the water fleet and the magma team. Using the game name, the author is used to it." After hearing this, Sakaka shook his head and smiled, "Don't worry about those guys. These two teams are idiots. For now, stop infiltrating the Fengyuan area. Let's first manage the Kanto and Chengdu regions well." Itaki also had some knowledge of the water fleet and the magma fleet. He seriously suspected that the bosses of these two teams were all brawn. Just kidding, one wants to turn all the land in the world into sea, and the other wants to turn the sea into land. Is this an idea that a human being can have? Sakaka doesn't care about this kind of clown. After his rockets are cleaned up, he'll just give them a thunderous blow. "Okay, I'll notify the members over there right away and ask them to gather their forces for the time being." Dr. Fuji nodded, picked up the phone and started dialing. Chapter 72, Porygon Production Base? An Evolution Suit. The next morning, Zhang Yu had just walked out of the Pokémon Center when suddenly a man in black clothes came over and started talking to him. "Hello, are you Consultant Au? I'm from the Red Lotus Research Institute, and I'm here to bring you here." As he spoke, the man in black also took out his researcher's certificate. Zhang Yu was somewhat speechless. He was just going to take a look, but why did it sound like an underground party meeting? Wearing black clothes and covering himself so tightly. "Okay, then I'll trouble you." Zhang Yu followed the researcher and rushed towards the Honglian Research Institute. Honglian Research Institute is Dr. Fuji's research institute, but Dr. Fuji is not here at the moment. He was replaced by Dr. Sage. The original plan was for him to go to the Unova region to conduct research, but Boss Sakaka suddenly changed his mind and asked him to stay in the Crimson Lotus Research Institute and fully cooperate with the guidance of the game consultant. Ding ding, face recognition successful. The Red Lotus Research Institute looks very technological. After scanning the researcher's face, the electronic door opened the passage. "Counselor Au, please follow me." Zhang Yu nodded and walked inside. The institute lobby has a large reception area and a passage leading to 3 rooms. The researcher walked to one of the rooms, opened the door, and motioned Zhang Yu to go in. After entering the room, Zhang Yu saw a man with a ramen head and wearing a research suit with his back to him. Hearing someone coming into the room, Dr. Seg turned around, saw Zhang Yu, and said enthusiastically, "Haha, you must be Consultant Au, you can call me Dr. Sage. I have heard from Master Kojiro that if you have any instructions, please tell me directly. I will fully cooperate with your work." Zhang Yu shook hands with Dr. Seg in confusion. "Guidance? How come I don't know it?" Zhang Yu thought to himself, but he still smiled and said, "It's not a guide, I just came to see how the Pokémon network is progressing." Dr. Seg had anticipated this and extended his hand to invite Zhang Yu to follow him. Under the guidance of Dr. Seg, Zhang Yu entered another door in the house. "This is..." Zhang Yu was somewhat shocked. A huge assembly line factory appeared in front of him. On the conveyor belt are Porygons one after another. Zhang Yu released his own Porygon and the Porygon on the assembly line, and compared them and found that they were exactly the same. "That's right. This is the Porygon factory of our research institute," Dr. Sager said proudly. As long as a special machine is used to install the emotion learning module and the move learning module at the end, Porygon will be the same as wild Pokémon. Although Zhang Yu didn't understand the production principle, he still felt it was very impressive. Seeing the other party's shocked expression, Dr. Seg was very satisfied. He continued, "However, in order not to disrupt the balance, there are also material restrictions, so our institute can only produce 100 Porygons per month. To assist in data analysis and as prizes for Yahung Game City." "I see." Zhang Yu could also understand. After all, it would be too terrifying if Pokémon could be produced infinitely. I understand. So, how far has the research on the Pokémon network progressed so far? Zhang Yu did not forget his mission and asked curiously. Dr. Seg immediately responded, our research on the Pokémon network is based on Porygon. Porygons with special network modules installed are placed in different locations as network base stations. However, due to the lack of a super large network center, we can only conduct a pilot project in Yaheng City. Dr. Sager said this with some regret. That's it. It's okay, take your time. Another question is, if other trainers have Porygon, will they be able to access the network and steal data? Zhang Yu was a little worried. After all, there were still many hackers on Earth, as well as network viruses. You can rest assured. Our Porygons that serve as network base stations do not have emotion modules installed. In addition, we have installed firewall modules. Also, if someone wants to invade the network through Porygon, we can directly locate them and carry out physical attacks. Dr. Seg is full of confidence. Porygon's firewall is the result of research by many doctors on Team Rocket. Even if the Alliance wants to conquer it, it will take years. Ahaha, good, very powerful. What a physical attack. Command Gyarados to fly over and destroy the Death Ray? By the way, I suggest you set up an information filtering device. Once the network is opened, there will definitely be a lot of information pouring in. Too much spam will affect the network speed. Zhang Yu thought for a moment and continued, in the Pokémon world, games are only a part of it. There is also network interaction and network testing. Zhang Yu talked a lot with Dr. Seg about this network issue. Before I traveled through time, I worked as an environmental inspector and also worked part-time as a web developer, so I know a little bit about it. Okay, I will inform the staff to improve it together. Dr. Sage benefited a lot from listening to the lecture. Indeed, there are still many problems, but after Zhang Yu raised them, he had a general direction. It will be much easier to do. By the way, Consultant Au, my boss asked me to give this to you. He said it will be useful to you. Dr. Seg remembered something and took Zhang Yu to a computer. He clicked a few times and a USB flash drive popped out from the computer port. This is the upgrade data needed for Porygon to evolve. Putting the USB drive in Zhang Yu's hand, Dr. Seg explained. Huh? What? This thing? Can it make Porygon evolve? Looking at the small USB flash drive in his hand, he felt incredible. Artificially created Pokémon require artificially created data to evolve. The Pokémon world always has reasonable settings in strange places. However, Zhang Yu was already used to it, so he still thanked him. Please, Dr. Seg, thank the boss for me. I will definitely contribute to the establishment of the Pokémon online world. He did not evolve his Porygon immediately. After all, he did not need it to participate in the gym battle for the time being, and there was no rush for its evolution. I've already got the evolution items, so I can just get them whenever I need them. After a brief tour and some suggestions, Zhang Yu left the Honglian Research Institute. I have to say, the internet is progressing very quickly. It seems that there is hope that the Pokémon online world will be launched this year. However, my main goal is to challenge the gym. There are professionals to handle the network and other things, so the next step is to go to the Red Lotus Gym. Chapter 73, Pokémon 97 is released for the first time. And the response is huge. The Yaheng City Game City is a little different today. Unlike its usual deserted state, today there are many people surrounding the entrance of the Game City in 3 layers inside and outside. Although some of them are Rocket's players in disguise, there are still many ordinary people. The reason for all this is that there is a whole row of game consoles at the entrance of the Game City. When an old man was blocked from seeing the situation from the outside, suddenly several Porygons flew into the air. Diddy virtual screen loading. A few red lights flashed in the eyes of the Porygons, and then a large screen formed by several small screens combined together appeared in the air. What is shown above is the scene at the entrance of the Game City. Wow! What is this? It looks so powerful. Just as people were shocked by the sudden appearance of the projection, the 3 members of Team Rocket in suits slowly walked out of the gate of the Game City. Since you asked the question sincerely, we'll tell you the truth. To make everyone's life more interesting, To make everyone more aware of Pokémon battles. Implement the concept of Game City to consider everyone. Cute and cool Pokémon battle characters. Pokémon 97 Battle. Officially on sale today. That's it, meow. The noisy crowd just now became silent. If Zhang Yu was here, he would definitely feel like he could dig out a 3-bedroom apartment with his toes. Who on earth came up with such an awkward opening line? Damn it! Just use the solar beam to blast the trio away, bastard. Ahem. Anyway, to make a long story short. Our Game City has launched a new game today. You can try it on the game machine at the door first. Kojiro was quite thick-skinned and explained the content of today's activities to everyone. I see. Under the supervision of the burly and strong men around, the first group of game experiencers came to the game console. The unfamiliar joysticks and buttons confused them. However, there is a tutorial for beginners on the screen. The painting style is more realistic, thanks to Sakeki, who brought a batch of tutu dogs from Chengdu, which solved the painter's problem. Then the picture was animated by Polygon, and finally the smooth screen experience in front of the user was formed. Soon, the first person to try it out appeared. Adong was a game enthusiast. He had been to many game centers, but they were all slot machines or connect the dots games that were the same in different ways. He often wonders why the world he lives in doesn't even have a decent game. Although Pokémon traveling is fun, not everyone likes to be a trainer. Adong is just such a person. 2 days ago, he came to Yehung City and heard that a new era game would be released here. The official of the Game City also said that if it is not fun, they will wash their hair upside down. Today he finally squeezed through the crowd just to experience this Pokémon 97. Yes, the name of the game displayed on the screen is Pokémon 97. From Zhang Yu's bad taste. Although he doesn't know why it is called this name, it does not prevent him from playing the game. After following the Pikachu on the screen through the beginner tutorial, Adong roughly mastered the operation method. While sliding the joystick to the right, he held down the attack button. As Pikachu on the screen shouted, an electric shock came out from Pikachu and hit the Rattata in front. The stamina bar above Rata's head suddenly dropped. Oh my god! This game! Although it was just a simple attack response, Adong was shocked as if he was struck by lightning. Brand new combat mode, beautiful graphics. It purified his soul, which had been deeply poisoned by slot machines and connect the dots games. After a while of operation, Adong controlled Pikachu to defeat Rattata, and the scene changed from 2D plane to 3D stereoscopic. The game character is almost the same as the real Pikachu. I entered a scene like a prairie, and there were also several Pikachus around. If the previous scene only shocked Adong, then this one was shocking. That's right, given the powerful creativity of the Pokémon world, Team Rocket developed the game so that the battles would be like those in the King of Fighters. When exploring, he is like God X. Another reason is that the 3D graphics of the battle are not easy to make. It will take some time for Porygon to be analyzed, but it will probably take some time before it can be fully 3-dimensional. This game. It's so fun. Adong couldn't help but say that he was controlling Pikachu to pick blue-orange fruits from the tree. There were some Pikachus around him picking blue-orange fruits as well. At this time, Musashi suddenly said through the loudspeaker, "I believe everyone has reached the stage of exploring the world. So the Pikachus around you are actually the ones who are playing the game with you." As soon as the words came out, everyone was shocked. After hearing this, Adong quickly turned his head and looked at the player's screen next to him. Sure enough, he controlled his Pikachu to jump off the tree, and a Pikachu on the screen next to him also jumped off the tree. Our game exploration is real-time interactive, but due to technical reasons, it can currently only be seen on the screens of people in Yehung City who own game consoles. But please rest assured, our company is confident that we can expand this game to the entire Kanto region and upgrade the technology before the Quartz conference begins. Musashi's voice is transmitted to the ears of everyone who comes to visit through the loudspeaker. No way! So powerful! I want to play too. Being a trainer is too dangerous. It would be great if I could travel in the game world. Damn it! I should have been faster. I didn't squeeze in. Whether it was the people watching through the virtual screen in the air or the people playing the game, they were all discussing and communicating with each other. However, questioning voices soon emerged. This game console is so big, we can't play it every day. That's right, and it's so big, it probably won't be cheap. Hearing these voices, Kojiro smiled and said loudly, "Don't worry, everyone, we have broken through the underlying code. The game Pokémon 97 will be concentrated on this small machine in my hand." As he spoke, Kojiro pulled out a machine that looked like an illustrated book from his pocket. "As long as you have it, as long as you are in Yahung City, you can play games as you like." Kojiro paused for a moment, and Musashi continued, "Don't worry about the price of the machine. This machine doesn't cost 9,998 nor 998. You can take it home for only 688 poke coins. For those who don't want to buy, that's fine. You can also play in our game city. It only costs 15 poke coins for an hour. In fact, it is not difficult to manufacture such a machine given the technology in the Pokémon world. It is not like the illustrated guide which is bound to the Alliance and the doctors in each region. The cost of a machine is actually only more than 200 yuan. When he heard that the price was only 688, Adong decisively paid for love. In the past, when he played slot machines, he spent money like water. There is no game currency at any time. Now you can play this game forever for only 688, which is such a great deal. Once the first person buys, there will be a second. Soon, the 500 game consoles prepared by the Game City were sold out. Those who didn't buy the game felt very regretful, but many people also entered the Game City to try it out. However, the trio assured that they would be available for sale throughout the week and that they could come back to buy them tomorrow. It's a big profit. I didn't expect to achieve the same turnover of the previous Game City in just one day. Looking at the extra poke coins in his account, Meowth felt like he was dreaming. It's too early to be happy, meow meow. Au said before that the popularity of the game will gradually decline. We need to improve the Pokémon network as soon as possible. Only by optimizing and updating the game can we achieve long-term success. Living off one's past achievements is a slow death. After all, Kojiro comes from a merchant family, so he has a long-term view on profits. After hearing this, Musashi and Meowth agreed with him. The trio continued to work on network development. After today, the emergence of new Pokémon games spread like a virus. People who like to play games spontaneously promote the Game City in order to play with more people. However, it was half a month later when Zhang Yu, who was far away on Honglian Island, received the news. Chapter 74. Volcanic Hot Springs and the Riddle-Guessing Uncle? Where is the Red Lotus Gym? Although Zhang Yu knew that there was a Taoist temple in Honglian town, he couldn't find it after searching around the town for a long time. When I asked Miss Joy and passers-by, they all said it was in the town, but they didn't know where exactly. Having searched the entire town, Zhang Yu felt helpless and decided to go to the volcanic hot spring to relax. His legs were sore after walking for so long. There were many people who went to the volcanic hot springs with him, and among them a blonde uncle caught his attention. The reason is simple, this blonde uncle has been actively talking to pedestrians and asking them to guess Pokémon riddles. There is a reward for correct answer and no penalty for incorrect answer. Soon the uncle came to Zhang Yu. "Hey, little brother, you don't look like you're on vacation judging by your attire, you're a trainer, right?" The uncle took a quick look at Zhang Yu and guessed. "Yes, I came to Honglian town to challenge the trainer of Honglian Gym." "Excuse me, uncle, do you know where Honglian Gym is?" Zhang Yu thought, this uncle was looking for people to guess riddles everywhere, so he probably knew a lot of people. "Ask, maybe you will gain something." Want to challenge the trainer at the Red Lotus Gym? I actually know where it is. But let's guess the riddle first. If you guess it right, I can tell you the answer. Zhang Yu actually asked him the question. Since there was hope, he signaled the uncle to ask the question quickly. "Listen carefully, my dear. I feel extremely hot inside my stomach, but there is a building. What is it?" The uncle's swaying golden hair made Zhang Yu unable to open his eyes. After thinking for a while, he tentatively gave an answer. "Could it be a volcano? This doesn't feel right. There are no buildings in a volcano." But the uncle suddenly jumped up and said loudly, "That's right. The answer is the Red Lotus Gym built inside the volcano." So the Red Lotus Gym is inside the volcano? Zhang Yu looked at the blonde uncle with some suspicion. Could this uncle be a staff member of the gym? As if he was a little embarrassed by Zhang Yu's suspicious gaze, the uncle scratched his head, and the position of his golden hair became a little off. Wig. Zhang Yu was stunned for a moment, looking at the uncle's rising hairline, and was a little unresponsive. Ahem. Bro, can we talk for a moment? The uncle straightened his hair instantly and took Zhang Yu to a place with few people. Hey! Uncle, what are you doing? I'm a serious person. Zhang Yu shook off the uncle's hand and looked at him warily. Don't be anxious, brother, just listen to me. Seeing that he could no longer hide the truth, the blonde uncle pulled off his wig, revealing his Mediterranean head with only a few tufts of white hair around his ears. Is it the guessing uncle? And the guessing uncle? Zhang Yu complained in his heart. The Mediterranean man quickly explained, Hello young man, I am actually the leader of the Red Lotus Gym. You can call me Xiaobo. What's with that suspicious look on your face? If you don't believe me, follow me. Xiaobo was somewhat upset by Zhang Yu's suspicious look, and hurriedly took him forward. Please, on the way to a hot spring bath, you meet a man with a Mediterranean wig who is looking for people to guess riddles, and in the end he tells you that he is the officially certified owner of the hot spring. Any normal person would doubt it, right? At least the gyms that Zhang Yu had challenged all had a formal registration process. Xiaobo brought Zhang Yu to a house built against a volcano and rang the doorbell. An electronic voice came from inside, which Pokémon can't play do re mi fa so la shi do smoothly on the piano? It's Moltres. Correct answer. The door opened with a click, and Xiaobo and Zhang Yu walked into the house. Young man, now you believe it. When the lights were turned on, the style of the room inside was exactly the standard dojo style. But it looked like it hadn't been cleaned for a long time, and there was a thin layer of dust on the floor. Xiaobo followed Zhang Yu's gaze and explained a little embarrassedly, I'm old. I'm a little bit unable to compete in the gym competition, and everyone comes to Honglian Island basically for vacation, so. However, for Xiaobo's laziness, why didn't the Alliance close the Red Lotus Gym? The main reason is that Xiaobo abides by the rules. Able to meet the Alliance's requirement that the gym accept at least 5 challenges per month. However, this month is about to end, and Zhang Yu happens to be the 5th challenger, so Xiaobo couldn't wait to bring him to the gym. Seeing everything in front of him, Zhang Yu was speechless, but he still accepted the fact. Then please accept my challenge. My name is Au. I'm sorry for doubting you before. No matter what, Xiaobo is the owner after all, so Zhang Yu still maintains due courtesy. Ahaha, it's okay, I understand. If brother Yu wants to challenge the gym, that's fine. Just follow me. Xiaobo didn't care. He was not a petty person. He laughed and left the house with Zhang Yu. Master Xiaobo, where are we going? Zhang Yu looked at the road and felt that it didn't look like they were going to a battle site. So why were they heading to the top of the volcano? Of course, I'm going to relax in the hot springs. I have to get enough rest before challenging the gym. Xiaobo said seriously. 6. Well, I wanted to go to the hot springs anyway, and I have found the owner, so there is no need to rush. Gilyalu. The Queen of Flowers buried her face in the hot spring and played with bubbles. Zhang Yu and Xiaobo were on the other side. The volcanic hot springs are still comfortable. How about it, Yu, isn't this place nice? Xiaobo took Zhang Yu to a hot spring with few people. The two of them wrapped in bath towels and soaked in the water. Well, it's really comfortable. I feel my whole body is relaxed. Zhang Yu leaned his head against the shore, his whole body underneath. He originally wanted to let all his Pokémon come and soak in the hot spring, but except for the Queen Flower, the other Pokémon didn't like the hot spring very much. Xiaobo didn't even bring his wig, he just used hot spring water to wash his hair. It's better to have a bald head. Just dip it in water and wipe it with a towel and you're done washing your hair. By the way, Au, how many badges have you obtained now? Xiaobo asked so that he could choose the Pokémon to fight based on Zhang Yu's strength. Well, let me see, Amazon, could you please take out my badge box? Zhang Yu waved his hand and asked for help from the female boss. Deifu. The female boss climbed ashore nimbly, took out the badge box from her backpack and handed it to Zhang Yu. Thank you. Open the badge box and show it to Xiaobo. I currently have a dark grey batch, a brilliant blue batch, a rainbow batch, a dead leaf batch, and a pink batch. Xiaobo was a little surprised. This young man is quite capable. However, except for Ma Zishi of the Withered Leaf Gym, who is relatively strong, the strength of other gym leaders is average. After thinking it over in his mind, Xiaobo also made a choice of the Pokémon to challenge. Although he is no longer as keen on fighting as he was when he was young. But he still had some strength, at least not worse than Ma Zishi. Not bad. Au, are you planning to attend this year's Quartz conference? Xiaobo asked. After all, they only need 3 more badges to qualify for the conference. Yes, so I want to challenge the Red Lotus Gym. Zhang Yu answered truthfully that after successfully obtaining the Red Lotus badge, he would challenge the Golden Gym and the Evergreen Gym, and finally participate in the Quartz conference. This is his current goal. Is that so? Well, I have to take the next battle seriously. Xiaobo thought of himself when he was young, who was also very energetic. Okay. I will also try my best to get the Red Lotus badge. Zhang Yu is determined to win, and he also has an idea on how to challenge the Red Lotus Gym. Chapter 75, Honglian Gym. And a Yu who came prepared. After a good rest, Xiaobo did not take Zhang Yu back to the gym. Instead, he walked to a stone wall of the volcano. Xiaobo placed his hand on a protruding stone and pressed hard. Rumbling. The stone wall actually moved aside, revealing a staircase leading downwards. Au, come with me. Xiaobo entered the passage first and spoke to Zhang Yu behind him. Following the other party to the bottom, Zhang Yu was shocked by the battle scene in front of him. Oh my god, Red Lotus Gym! This is the most fancy venue he has ever seen. The fighting platform is tied by 4 thick iron chains and suspended above the lava, and the other end of the chain is fixed on a huge stone pillar extending from the lava. Ha ha ha, are you surprised? This is the battle platform I made myself. Xiaobo looked at Zhang Yu's surprised expression and laughed proudly. Are people in the Pokémon world so good at hands-on work? The trio also, Xiaobo also. Zhang Yu clapped his hands in cooperation, but it was really exciting to watch the bubbling magma below and command the battle from a stone pillar. As for the rules of the game, there's no referee, it's just 3v3, and if all Pokémon lose their ability to fight, they lose. After saying that, Xiaobo walked along the chain bridge between the 2 stone pillars to the command platform on the opposite stone pillar. He waved to Zhang Yu, signaling the start of the game. Then, let's go. 9 Tails. Xiaobo was the first to release his Pokémon. A fox with golden hair and 9 tails appeared on the field. The space, which was already illuminated by the magma, seemed to become brighter because of the appearance of the 9-tailed fox. Diddy 9-tailed fox, with golden fur and 9 long tails. It is said that it can live for 9 years. Zhang Yu was a little surprised, not because of the other party's beautiful appearance, but because the illustration said that the 9-tailed fox could live for 1,000 years. What is the other world version of the 1,000-year fox and 10,000-year turtle? Then I'm here, riding a dragon. Woo! Zhang Yu and Chenglong had already prepared themselves mentally. This was the first time for the child to go to the battlefield. He was not going to let the baby Chenglong be the main output force. Zhang Yu had other ideas. Because the command platform is far away from the battle site, both of them have to shout in order for the Pokémon to hear them. Since the 9-tail is a fire type, it has no reaction to the dry and hot interior of a volcano. As for the Dragonite, which has the attributes of water and ice, it twisted its body in discomfort. Chenglong, come on, cheer up, you can do it. Zhang Yu shouted loudly, he was not worried because his tactics had not yet begun. Qiabai, use Fire Whirlpool. Xiaobo commanded Qiabai to launch an attack directly. Ouch! A burst of fire spurted out of the 9-tailed fox's mouth, then suddenly exploded in the air, forming a vortex, spinning towards the Dragonite. Chenglong, don't be afraid, use Pray for Rain. Zhang Yu chose to let Chenglong take this move and create favorable conditions first. Woo! Fire-type moves have normal power against water and ice-type dragons, so it still cried out in pain. However, it still raised its head and spit out a ball of water. The water ball flew into the air and exploded, and a small black cloud emerged from the sky. Then a drizzle began to fall. The rain soaked the nine-tailed fox's fur and extinguished the vortex of fire surrounding the Dragonite. Ouch! Nine-tailed fox shook its body and shook off the water droplets on its body. Pray for rain? That's a great move, Nine Tails, spray fire. Xiaobo wiped the sweat off his head and gave orders loudly. He was very satisfied with the battlefield, but the only regret was that there was no refrigeration equipment. Ouch! The nine-tailed fox let out a cry, and a thick pillar of fire sprayed towards the Long Cheng. The hot air evaporated the raindrops in the air, making a sizzling sound. Use water cannon to attack. Zhang Yu saw Zhou continue to use fire attacks, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. The dragon also spewed out a thick column of water, which collided with the jet of flame. A large amount of water vapor suddenly appeared in the air, filling the entire venue. The hot air also dropped in temperature due to the large amount of water vapor. Now! Frozen wind! Zhang Yu seized the opportunity and yelled. Woo! Cold air continued to spew out of the dragon's mouth. The water vapor in the air instantly froze into small ice crystals and fell to the ground. With the addition of the rain from the rain-seeking move, the field became slippery even though the magma underneath was still boiling. Good boy, I have something. Xiaobo praised him. He didn't expect that in such an environment, he could use steam to break the situation. He is indeed a trainer who has obtained 5 badges. Looking at the dragon that kept using the freezing wind and water cannon moves, Xiaobo had a headache. Even though the nine-tailed fox couldn't be hit, the use of these 2 moves made the field more and more slippery. We can't let it go on like this. Kuabai, use roar. Ouch! Nine-tailed fox yelled at Dragonite, and then a strange force sent Dragonite back into the poke ball. Another poke ball on Zhang Yu's waist suddenly opened, and a new Pokémon appeared on the field. But when Xiaobo saw it clearly, his heart sank. It's over. Beep touch. Sea Dragon was also confused. It clearly didn't hear the trainer's call, so why did it suddenly come out? Zhang Yu couldn't help but smile. He only brought 3 Pokémon today, Sea Dragon, Dragonite and Porygon. He wanted to use the rain-making steam tactic. Although he didn't expect Xiaobo to take him inside the volcano, fortunately, the difference was not that big. However, the nine-tailed fox's roaring move was unexpected. Fortunately, he didn't bring the one-horned rhino, otherwise it would have been a waste. There is no time to regret the departure of the Dragonite. Now the next one to come on the stage is Sea Thorn Dragon. Seeing that the rain-making move was about to disappear, Zhang Yu yelled, Sea Dragon, stop being dazed. It's your turn to perform. Keep praying for rain. Beep touch. The Sea Thorn Dragon reacted without hesitation and summoned dark clouds again. The rainwater on the field overflowed and flowed into the magma below, evaporating a lot of water mist. 9 tails, magical power. Xiaobo still wanted to resist, but Zhou Wei's current ability to move was greatly limited. The purple superpower light wave was blocked by the dragon wave of the Sea Thorn Dragon. Well done, Sea Thorn. Use tidal swirl next. Zhang Yu played a steady, rotating water flow that trapped the immobile nine-tailed fox. Soon the nine-tail lost consciousness. What a great tactic! Ayu, I recognize your strength. Next, it's your turn. Parsuter. Xiaobo, with a righteous look on his face, released a Pokémon that Zhang Yu had never expected. No. I remember that Honglian Gym is a fire attribute gym. Zhang Yu expressed his understanding for Lgia's poisonous grass stinky flower and Aju's flying poisonous Zubat. But why did your fire gym give me the entire cordyceps? Although he couldn't see Ayu's expression clearly, Xiaobo still felt a strong resentment. Xiaobo said that in order to deal with the water attribute restraint, it is reasonable to prepare a hand of grass-type Pokémon, right? In that case, don't blame me for waiting for the enemy to tire themselves out and then making a feint to the east and attacking in the west. Another tactic emerged in Zhang Yu's mind. Chapter 76, Just 2. Use the reverse scale on it. Xiaobo's face turned red, but he still gave the order, Palust. Use Sunny Day. Do Te. Parast, who had big mushrooms growing on his body, condensed a ball of light with his 2 front paws. Throw it into the dark clouds, and suddenly, sunny days replaced rainy days. It stopped raining and the sun became stronger. I knew it. If you ask what fire-type Pokémon fears the most, it is naturally rainy days, so Pokémon that can appreciate sunny days are a must. This is also the reason why Xiaobo chose Parast. Normally, Qiabai can also learn sunny day, but because Xiaobo's Qiabai's characteristic is sunshine, he didn't learn this move. I just didn't expect that sunshine was replaced by Qinglong's rain prayer. Sea Thorn Dragon, use smoke screen. Zhang Yu decided to be prudent and directly cover the venue with a smoke screen. Dorothea. Having lost his vision, Parast became panicked and walked around in circles on his paws. Don't panic. We're using paralysis powder, mixed with smoke screen. Xiaobo is indeed an experienced man, and he immediately gave the order. The yellow powder mixed into the smoke, and the smoke changed from black to black with yellow. Tisk, a mere trifle. Sea Thorn Dragon, use Tidal Whirl on yourself. As a trainer who is proficient in using the powder moves of the King of Flowers, how could Zhang Yu not know how to crack it? Beep touch. The Sea Thorn Dragon surrounded itself in a whirlpool of water, and the paralysis powder in the smoke screen was sucked into the whirlpool, not floating into the interior at all. Dance of Dragons. The Sea Thorn Dragon kept twisting its body, and its attack power and speed continued to increase. Xiaobo started to panic. This was not going to work. He couldn't see the situation on the field clearly. And the other party didn't seem to be affected by the paralyzing powder. Seed machine gun. Shoot. There's no other way. Parastro was not a Pokémon specially cultivated by Xiaobo. Apart from the powder, it has no large-scale offensive moves. I can only try to attack it with the seed machine gun. 2222. In the smoke, the seeds were fired randomly by machine guns, and some of them actually hit the sea dragon. However, it was blocked by the swirling current. No, we can't go on like this, Parast, use growth. Xiaobo also strengthened his Pokémon continuously, waiting for the smoke to dissipate, and then dealt a fatal blow to Sea Dragon. The grass type attacked the water type, and if it didn't die, it would at least injure you. Finally, the black smoke slowly dissipated, revealing the two Pokémon on the field. Parast's body has grown bigger and is full of power. The eyes of the Sea Dragon also became very sharp. The moment he saw the other party clearly, Xiaobo immediately yelled, Energy Ball. Duo. How? T. Parast's sturdy front paws condensed a huge energy ball, and with a push of his claws, it swept towards the Sea Thorn Dragon. Don't be afraid, Sea Thorn Dragon. Just think of it as a victory. Use reverse scale on it. Zhang Yu stood on the command platform and waved his fist vigorously, commanding loudly. Beep touch. The Sea Dragon roared in a suppressed manner, and its blue skin instantly turned orange-red, and there seemed to be fire burning in its eyes. Then the dark red dragon energy gathered in front of it, and finally formed an energy ball that was as big as the other one. The Sea Thorn Dragon pushed its body forward, and the energy of its reverse scales flew out at a faster speed, colliding with Parast's energy ball. Boom! The two energies resisted each other for only 2 seconds, and then a huge explosion occurred. But this is not the end yet, the energy of the reverse scale is not limited to once. The Sea Thorn Dragon condensed several balls of dragon energy in front of it. They were fired one by one, but Parast's speed was far slower than it. Another series of explosions. The center of the explosion was at the foot of Parast. Duo, Huo. In the end, it still couldn't survive the bombardment of the reverse scale after the dragon dance strengthened it. Fell on the road to the game. Come back, you did a great job. Xiaobo admitted that the opponent's strength was far beyond his expectations. It's mainly the smoke screen and dragon dance, I can't solve it myself. You can only watch and wait for the opponent to become stronger. This tactic of waiting for the opponent to tire out is really great. Don't let the battle stop. Xiaobo's passion was also aroused. He changed from a Mediterranean grandfather to a passionate old man. Go! The platypus. Gilu. A Pokémon with a duck's beak and red and yellow body appeared in the venue. However, because of its reverse scale, the Sea Dragon fell into chaos after its crazy attack. Come back, Sea Thorn Dragon. It's decided to be you. Porygon. Humph, after waiting for the enemy to tire themselves out, it's time to make a feint to the east and attack in the west. Porygon made no extra sound when he appeared. His voice was directly transmitted to Zhang Yu by the navigator. This is. When Xiaobo saw the Porygon, he forgot its name for a moment, but it looked very familiar. No matter who it is. The duck-billed fire beast, big explosion. Gulu. A ball of fire burst out from the duck-billed Charmeleon's beak, forming a large Chinese character in the air. It quickly flew towards Polygon. Porygon, move quickly to avoid it, and then keep using Blizzard. Zhang Yu quickly spoke to the navigator, and the polygons in the field received the message at the same time and began to act. Xiaobo suspected that there was something wrong with his ears. He clearly didn't hear the other party's command, so why did the Pokémon start to act on its own? Is it telepathy? Or superpowers? He remembered that Pokémon like Lucario could understand the trainer's thoughts without communicating with each other. If Zhang Yu knew what the other person was thinking, he would definitely laugh. Pokémon technology, Lao Deng. You are out of touch with the times. Porygon was floating in the air and was not very big, so it used its high-speed movement to easily avoid Incarnate's large-scale explosion. Finally, red and blue light flashed on its body, and endless snowflakes spurted out of its mouth. Strangely, the blizzard was not heading in the direction of the duck-billed fire beast. Instead, they fell on the ground in large numbers, and turned into water droplets under the evaporation of heat. The field, which had just become dry due to the sunny weather, became wet again. Come back, Porygon, Caesaurus. Sorry to bother you again. Seeing that his goal had been achieved, Zhang Yu immediately released the sea thorn dragon again. Young man, what tricks are you playing again? Xiaobo narrowed his eyes, unable to understand Zhang Yu's tactics. So what if you use tactics, Platypus, use your lightning fist and give your opponent a massage. After the sea thorn dragon came out, the duck-billed fire beast immediately rushed forward and punched the opponent with its fists emitting electric light. There are so many moves. Move at high speed to dodge, then quickly turn back. Zhang Yu felt the same pressure when facing Xiaobo as when facing Ma Zishi. The sea thorn dragon dodged several lightning punch attacks in a row, and when it got the chance, it used its water energy to ram the duck-billed fire beast. Then it turned into a ball of red light and flew into the poke ball. Gurgle. The platypus, which was hit by the water-type rapid return, looked very uncomfortable. Chenglong, fight again. Only now did Zhang Yu's ultimate goal emerge. First, he took away the opponent's Parsutheader, then used Porygon to create a wet ground, and finally used Sea Dragon to consume Incarnate's physical strength. And Chenglong will come to reap the fruits of victory. As for why the Sea Dragon and the Platypus are not allowed to fight, the reason is that the Sea Dragon's close combat ability is not good. If it fights with the Thunder Fist, it will be easily killed. And there are obviously more reliable tactics, why choose to take risks? Woo! The dragon appeared again, and the humid air and venue made its movements easier. With a flick of its tail fin, it escaped from the attack range of the platypus's lightning fist. Earth. No, water waves. Originally, Zhang Yu wanted to use an earthquake to resolve the battle, but he looked at the site hanging on the magma. If this was damaged by an earthquake, both Pokémon would probably fall into the lava. Spray flames. Xiaobo had no good way to deal with it, so he could only fight back with his moves. It is difficult to gain an advantage against this type of Pokémon with long arms without close-range attacks. Although the platypus had tried its best, it still fell into a disadvantage due to its attribute restraint. Gurgle. The dragon had a lot of water, and the water cannon and water waves took turns. Finally, with the duck-billed fire beast's unwilling cry, it took away the last bit of the opponent's physical strength. Ayu, who did you learn this tactic from? This is the first time I've seen such a sinister, such an exciting fight. Xiaobo gave the crimson badge to Zhang Yu with a depressed look on his face. Haha. I'm fine, maybe I just read too many books. Old. Xiaobo, you are also very strong, you may be old but your heart is still young. Zhang Yu scratched his head and smiled. He liked reading books when he was on Earth. He also read history books frequently, such as The Art of War and Tactics, and he knew a little bit about them. After leaving Honglian Gym, Zhang Yu boarded the helicopter sent by Yehung Game City and rushed to Yehung City. No more crashes. He had a psychological trauma, and it was only after the staff's repeated assurances that he mustered up the courage to board the plane. Chapter 77. Return to Yehung City. Develop with Pokémon Game City. As the helicopter slowly landed, Zhang Yu breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, no accidents happened this time. But as soon as he got off the plane, he found that the atmosphere in Yuheng City seemed different from before. Almost every pedestrian on the street is holding a machine and communicating with people around them from time to time. Some Pokémon and their trainers sat on a bench by the roadside, looking at the machines in their hands together. Why do I have a strange sense of déjà vu? Zhang Yu was curious and was about to ask a question when the staff of the game city next to him said. Consultant Au, please follow me. The general manager has been waiting for a long time. However, the general manager, as the staff called him, was sitting in the office of the gaming city and worrying. Kojiro, although our game consoles are selling well, the Yuheng City Alliance has recently started to suppress us, meow. The reason is that playing with things makes people lose their ambition and unable to work properly. We didn't say let them play every day. Meow Meow looks very angry, and his hair is all standing on end. Kojiro sighed, alas, it's just jealousy. In just half a month, I earned the same amount of money as I did in the previous half year of gaming. It is inevitable that the Alliance will intervene. It would be great if there was a win-win solution. Squeak. The office door was opened, and Musashi said to Kojiro, look who's here. Long time no see, everyone. Zhang Yu greeted the trio. Au, meow, you're here at last. We've encountered a problem, meow, I hope you have a good way to solve it. Meow Meow rushed over quickly and rubbed Zhang Yu's pants. There's no other way. Since I need help from others, I naturally have to be more humble. Meow, I still like your unruly look. Zhang Yu was a little uncomfortable with Meow Meow's enthusiasm, so he took a step back and asked, what happened recently? I don't know anything about it. Are you serious about taking a step back? I finally got my heart moved, but ended up losing so completely. Meow Meow was a little shocked, but business was more important, so she immediately explained to Zhang Yu. I see. So now we are facing a bottleneck in development. Zhang Yu suddenly realized after listening to the explanation of the trio. The solution is not difficult. Simply put, it is to change the industrial structure and achieve a win-win situation. Zhang Yu thought for a while and said slowly. Huh? What is that? Kojiro felt like he had grasped something, but it wasn't quite clear yet. Musashi and Meowth looked confused. What's the encrypted call? Ignoring the two's antics, Zhang Yu continued, we can develop new Pokémon World content based on the Alliance's development strategy and policy orientation. For example, adding a lot of Pokémon trivia to the game allows people to better understand Pokémon. Then social networking sites were established to make communication much more convenient. It can also advertise products and boost local economic development. Finally, we can all win together by cooperating with the Alliance. Zhang Yu explained a lot from the simplest to the most complex. Except for Meow Meow who was still confused, Musashi understood everything. Kojiro's eyes lit up. Yes, that's absolutely right. Au, you are a genius. But I still need to report this to Boss Sakeke first. Kojiro hurried out to communicate with Sakeke. As for these things, Zhang Yu actually read what was said on the internet. In modern society, who doesn't have opinions on state affairs? From national wars to bargaining for food? The omnipotent netizens will always tell you 1, 2, 3. Zhang Yu also specifically learned about this aspect when looking for a job. Even though I was still a slave in the end, I still had some theoretical knowledge. Au, you don't know what our current game is like yet, come and take a look with me. Musashi and Meowth excitedly took Zhang Yu to see the development progress of Pokémon 97. It's quite nice. After some actual operation, Zhang Yu was a little surprised. The research capabilities of this game city are too amazing. Except for the monotonous picture and lack of some recharge options, everything else is good. During this time, the trio also broke through the underlying code and turned the battles into 3D, making the game more exciting. You can add more quests and plots to make players feel more involved. Zhang Yu made some small suggestions, and Meow Meow carefully wrote them down in a small notebook. At this time, Kojiro ran over and said. Hey! Au, I see you're here. Boss Sakeke just told me that everything is going according to your plan. By the way, Mr. Sakeke also sent Dr. Fuji over to work with us on technology development. We can do it with all our might now. What a great feeling, X3. The trio were very excited after hearing the news. Zhang Yu was also very happy. He suggested having dinner together to celebrate. Several people came to the kitchen of the game city. Zhang Yu and Xiao Jiro cooked, while Musashi and Miao Miao quickly prepared the ingredients. Soon, Chinese and Japanese dishes were served one after another. Wow! I didn't expect your cooking skills are so good, Au. Musashi ate quickly. Although the trio had never been hungry since they became managers of the game city, they still adhered to the principle of not wasting food. After Miao Miao sucked the last claw of the crab clean, he burped loudly. The detached claws of giant crabs are a high-end food ingredient that they would never have been able to afford in the past. Now it's okay. I don't have to eat it every day, but I can still eat it 2 or 3 times a week. So satisfied Miao. Zhang Yu stayed in the game city for 2 days. After formulating future development plans with the trio, he prepared to embark on another journey. Zhang Yu refused the offer to take a helicopter ride. Unless necessary, he prefers to travel on the ground. Before leaving, Miao Miao gave him a new version of the game console. It can not only play games, but also has functions such as calls and video chats. It is their latest research result. Au, as long as you are in the Kanto region, this machine can follow our research and update the version in real time. If we have any questions in the future, we can also use this machine to ask you. Miao Miao wagged its tail. It had a very good impression of Zhang Yu and considered him a friend. Kojiro and Musashi were still busy at work, so it was the one to see them off. Okay, thank you for your help. This is the energy drink I prepared. You can drink some when you are tired. It can not only restore your energy but also improve your physical condition. Zhang Yu put the diluted Overlord Nectar drink into a glass bottle, sealed it, and gave several bottles to the trio. So they can work better as cattle. Just kidding, they are partners now, it's normal for them to show some concern for each other. Miao Miao was very touched. Woo woo, Au, thank you for your gift. Pushing Miao Miao's snotty head away, Zhang Yu quickly rode on the unicorn and left. Okay, it's not like we won't see each other anymore. I'll bring you gifts next time I come. Chapter 78. Yeheng City is very close to Jinhuang City. Zhang Yu was riding a unicorn rhinoceros and walking slowly on the road. Bobo. A few bobos on the roadside tilted their heads and looked at Zhang Yu curiously. Bobo. By the way, I have caught one. I will train it when I have time. It will evolve into a Pidgeot and can take me flying. Zhang Yu thought of the Pidgeot he caught in the hunting zone, as well as many other Pokémon. He wondered if they had caused any trouble for Professor Niyaki. After getting all 8 badges, the Quartz Conference may not start yet. You can go back to the Orange Islands then. Take out the game console, or call the mobile phone. Before leaving, Zhang Yu also talked to the trio about changing the name. The machine in hand, the simple and easy to understand name has received unanimous praise. Besides, the name of the mobile phone is also easy to open up the market, saving the alliance from saying that games are a waste of time every day. Zhang Yu was bored and scrolling through the Kanto news. In fact, all this information was obtained by the members of Team Rocket and later uploaded to his phone. Hot! This is the most popular game right now. Shocking! This thing can make men speechless and women cry. This is the true legacy of the shock department. Zhang Yu clicked on the second piece of news, thinking it was just another headline grabber. But the result surprised him. The daughter of the Golden Gym leader is addicted to games and cannot extricate herself, causing her parents to lament. The child is ruined by the game. Nancy is playing games too. Zhang Yu couldn't help but laugh. He still remembered the little girl who had played with Mohama. It's normal to be addicted to games. I remember her father said that Nancy doesn't have many friends, so now she has something to play with, which is a good thing, right? While Zhang Yu was daydreaming, the unicorn rhinoceros had already brought him to Jinhuang City. The city of Huangjin is still prosperous, but unlike before, many pedestrians on the street are holding their mobile phones. But compared to the game fans in Yeheng City, there are still a lot fewer. Niu rushed to the Golden Gym without stopping, but Zhang Yu got an unexpected news. I'm sorry, the owner and his family went to Chengdu recently. They said they wanted to help Miss Naz quit her internet addiction. They may not be back for a while. The staff member told Zhang Yu with an apologetic look. This is outrageous. I'm starting to quit my internet addiction. It's like I've released a monster called a game. I shook my head to get rid of the strange thoughts. Games are just an add-on to the internet. The real use of the internet is not just entertainment. We should not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Since he couldn't challenge the gym, Zhang Yu decided to visit the fighting dojo. Follow the main road to the fighting arena on the other side of Golden City. The scene before him was also unexpected for him. Several cars with the words Quaily Moving Company parked in front of the fighting arena. A dozen muscular monsters were constantly moving things from the house into the cars. Huh? Why are both of them like this? Zhang Yu suddenly saw a familiar figure at this time. Hi! Nobuhiko, long time no see, what are you guys doing? Nobuhiko was directing the strange force to gently put down the fighting dojo plaque when he suddenly heard someone calling him. Turning around, he said, Hey! Ayu, long time no see, why are you here? Our martial arts master is planning to move the fighting arena to the Kalos area. I heard that there is a blue ocean over there. I don't know the details. The owner is in the room, you can go ask him. After saying that, Nobuhiko continued to busy directing. Zhang Yu did not disturb him when he saw this. He walked into the house in 2 or 3 steps. Many things in the house had been moved away, making it empty. Only a few tables, chairs, and benches were left there. Wu De was standing between the 2 couplets with his back to him. Excuse me, Mr. Wu De, the fighting dojo is running well, why do you want to move away suddenly? Zhang Yu walked to Wu De's side and asked in confusion. Oh, it's Ayu, long time no see. Ha ha ha, it's nothing. I just don't want to compete with the Golden Gym anymore. It's pointless. I heard there are many cities in the Kalos region. I plan to open a new martial arts school there. Zhang Yu was a little skeptical. Is it hard to leave your hometown just because you don't want to compete? By the way, Ayu, you travel everywhere, have you heard of the recently popular Pokémon 97? Wu De suddenly asked a strange question. Zhang Yu nodded, took out his phone from his pocket and shook it. This one is very popular in Yehung City. Wu De was surprised to see the phone Zhang Yu was holding. You have one too? It's hard to buy this stuff right now. The alliance has begun to limit the number of units sold. Ayu, you are really capable. Zhang Yu didn't expect the alliance to be so strict now. I have a friend who has some connections and got me one. Why, Mr. Wu De wants one too. Seeing that Wu De seemed to be hesitant to speak, Zhang Yu joked. Hehe, it's still brother Yu who understands me. Actually, I won't hide it from you. The reason I'm moving to the Kalos area is because I discovered a big secret. In Pokémon 97, many of the moves can actually be applied in real life. As far as I know, this game has not been released outside of the Kanto region, so I want to be the first to eat the giant crab. Wu De said a little embarrassedly that moving away from Guandu was a decision that went against his ancestors. Zhang Yu suddenly realized, you are a good man with thick eyebrows and big eyes, but you still have such foresight. However, it is true that we need to do a good job of publicity in advance, and not just limit it to the Kanto area. Zhang Yu agreed to Wu De's request, but he needed to help promote the Pokémon network after he had established a solid foundation. My friend is a high-ranking executive at the gaming city. They need to expand the market. I'll give him a call later. I'll have to trouble Mr. Wu De when the time comes. Wu De laughed, you actually had this kind of relationship. Oh. You are really young and promising. Don't worry, I will definitely help you with this. After leaving the fighting dojo, Zhang Yu felt a little bored. He couldn't challenge the dojo, so what should he do? Looking at people playing games on their phones on the street. Oh, right. Zhang Yu suddenly had an idea. Pokémon Network will definitely have a video feature in the future. It's better to become the first generation of internet celebrity yourself. The account is called Ayu on the Road, recording my daily life with Pokémon. Well, we need to train them to perform in front of the camera. We can shoot some short skits. Positive energy. We must have positive energy. We can no longer let the Queen of Flowers whip people with a vine. Just like that, the first generation internet celebrity, Zhang Yu's travel account is about to take the first step. Chapter 79, Porygon Camera. and the Seasaurus who loves to take videos. The suburbs of Huangjin City are still very large, but they are far from the bustling city. The suburbs are sparsely populated, with lots of trees and grass, and wild Pokémon occasionally pass through them. But this also provided convenience for Zhang Yu to shoot videos. How do I shoot it? All things are difficult at the beginning. He had no experience in making videos before and was a little confused about the topic. Au's daily travel, Pokémon, positive energy, That's right. Let's call it the Golden Gym's pre-battle training. Defo. The queen flower has a red ribbon tied to its crown, and it jumps around waving its two little fists. Porygon turns on the photography mode and follows the figure of queen flower to adjust the shooting angle. Zhang Yu dubbed beside him. Look carefully, this Pokémon is called Tyrannosaurus Rex. When he was walking on grass, he won the first free fight against Scyther. Although the marketing account's introduction is mostly nonsense, it is enough to brainwash you. The female boss also followed Zhang Yu's words and performed actions, such as shaking her head back and forth and punching forward and backward. She looked quite good. Beeb. What are the trainer and the big sister doing? Hoo-ha. They must have a purpose for doing this. The sea dragon and the one-horned rhino were whispering to each other. Iron Shell Kun. Not evolved, not talking. Because it was on land, Dragonite stayed in the Pokeball and did not come out. Don't be in a daze, Sea Thorn Dragon, it's your turn. Zhang Yu shouted to the sea dragon that was tickling himself. Beep touch. Yes, you just stand here, and when I say start, you rush towards the Queen of Flowers, and then the two of you start fighting each other. Of course, it's just pretend. Zhang Yu got a pair of sunglasses from somewhere and put them on. The only thing missing was a mustache. Beep touch. Huh? Who? Me? Me and the big sister? The sea dragon is a little confused. Defo, it's okay, just pretend, I'll be gentle. The queen flower smiled gently, but in the eyes of the sea dragon, that smile seemed like darkness had descended. All right, stop playing tricks. Don't I know your relationship? Zhang Yu felt a little funny when he saw the sea dragon's face turn grey and white. Beep touch? Was found. The sea dragon smiled embarrassedly. Okay, everyone in place, ready, start. Zhang Yu waved his hand, and Porygon's eyes turned blue and began recording a video. And it. Seed Horn. The #1 assassin in Pokémon Kanto. Do you dare to look it in the eye for more than 3 seconds? Zhang Yu once again provided narration. Defo. Beep touch. The two Pokémon's moves collided and an explosion occurred, but it was just for show and there was no substantial damage. Such power! Vakera is shocked. Who are you? Dragon King. Zhang Yu pointed at the unicorn rhinoceros, and the latter immediately ran over and lowered its head in front of the sea dragon. Hi. I am late, please forgive me, Lord Dragon King. Zhang Yu speaks for the unicorn. The 3-year period has come. Welcome back, Dragon King. Hi. I'm so tired. Narration is not easy. Zhang Yu sat down on the ground and drank a sip of water. Although Porygon was the one who filmed the scene, he had to direct the movements of the Pokémon himself. Especially the big rhino, it's so big that its butt always blocks the camera. After finishing this short drama and accumulating some fans, I will start shooting daily vlogs. Zhang Yu called all the Pokémon to him and said, everyone has worked hard today. We won't go back to the city tonight. I'll cook. Defo. Beep touch. Hi. Today, except for Iron Shell Kun, the other Pokémon are quite tired, but the novel shooting experience makes them very excited. Sea Thorn Dragon has fallen in love with the feeling of being in front of the camera. So after eating and drinking, Hai Long and Zhang Yu edited the video together. Polygon projected the video, Zhang Yu asked where it needed to be cropped, and Polygon deleted it directly. Beep touch. The sea dragon was a little excited when he saw a clip and touched Zhang Yu's arm. You like this? Zhang Yu looked at the sea dragon in the picture with 3 parts of disdain, 3 parts of coldness, and 4 parts of indifference, and felt very interesting. Ha ha ha, okay, then I'll give you a close-up. Porygon zoomed in and focused on the face of Seasaurus. The weather was very good at night, with a few stars scattered overhead and moonlight scattered on the ground. The Queen Flower and the One-Horned Rhino fell asleep together, Zhang Yu and the Sea Thorn Dragon, and the Polygon were still staying up late to edit the video. Iron Shell Kun, what about me? Taikikan remained silent, but his body was shaking more and more violently. Ah! I was so tired. In the end, Hai Si Long couldn't hold on and fell asleep leaning against Zhang Yu. Since Porygon didn't need to rest, he stayed with her until the next morning. Although it still looks a bit rough, the overall plot is coherent. Zhang Yu plans to shoot Pokémon, Return of the Dragon King while waiting for the Golden Gym to open. Such a brainwashing skit must bring disaster to the Pokémon world. With this thought in mind, Zhang Yu finally couldn't hold on any longer and fell asleep on the grass. Deifu. The Queen Flower rubbed her eyes and saw that it was already bright outside, but her trainer was sleeping on the ground with dark circles under his eyes. It took out a blanket from its backpack and gently covered Zhang Yu with it, then lay down beside him, looking at the sky leisurely, waiting for the trainer to wake up. Yehung Game City. Office. Au said that the owner of the fighting gym in Golden City wants to develop in the Kalos region. Now that he has established a connection with us, we can use it to promote the Pokémon network. Kojiro said to Sakeki on the phone. I see, okay, we should expand our influence. Sakeki paused and continued. I will send Athena to connect with Wuda. She will not suffer any loss with her methods. By the way, let's make the rockets famous in Kalos. Of course, it's a good reputation. After saying that, Sakeki hung up the phone. At this time, Musashi said to Kojiro, Kojiro, the Hunter organization has recently organized to steal our mobile phones, let me deal with them. Kojiro smiled and said, okay, thank you for your help, Musashi. By the way, you don't have to work too hard. Take some rest when you have time. You can leave the work to your subordinates. I'm not tired. After all, I have a dream. Musashi's tone was a little strange, and he quickly left the office. Chapter 80, The Unlucky Hunter Organization. And Nancy who is addicted to games. The Hunter Organization, also known as Pokémon Hunters, are a group of very bad people. In contrast, although Team Rocket is also engaged in capturing and selling Pokémon, at least it does not threaten the lives of Pokémon. Now, even the Rocket's veteran Osaka is working to reverse the team's bad image. In order to catch rare Pokémon, hunters will do whatever it takes, regardless of their lives. It's a pity that all the cadres of this organization are experts in escaping and their escape skills are at the highest level. In addition, their scale is much smaller than that of the Rockets, so every time the League takes action, it can only catch a few insignificant minions. However, today, the Yehung City Hunter Organization's den welcomed an uninvited guest. Oi, who is the leader here? Get out here! Musashi was wearing a black windbreaker and sunglasses, and his iconic burgundy hair was let down. After kicking open the door of the abandoned factory, he shouted at the confused hooligans inside. Behind Musashi followed a group of Team Rocket members who were also wearing black combat uniforms, but without the letter R on their chests. You, who are you? The gangsters had never seen such a scene before and asked in panic. Stop talking nonsense. Hunter Organization, stop playing dumb. Tell your leader to come over. Musashi waved his hand, and the Rocket team members rushed in, instantly blocking the factory gate. Clap clap. A round of applause rang out, attracting everyone's attention. Shhh, how rude. Miss, you suddenly visit the Hunter Organization, what's the matter? Aaron, wearing a brown leather jacket, stepped out from the gang. Musashi sneered after seeing this, nothing, I'm just in a bad mood and want to destroy the Hunter Organization. Humph. You are so arrogant. No matter who you are, if you dare to come to my territory to cause trouble, you will be doomed. Aaron stopped pretending. Since the other party knew his background, there was no way to negotiate. He took out his pokeball in an instant, and the thugs next to him also took out their pokeballs immediately after seeing this. Oh, it's really ugly, I really can't keep my composure. Musashi turned and walked into the crowd of Team Rocket members. I'll leave it to you. 10 minutes later. Aaron was lying on the ground, holding his stomach in pain. The gangsters behind him were lying all over the ground. Sir, the matter has been resolved. Please give your instructions. A member of Team Rocket walked up to Musashi and reported. Musashi stopped teasing Arbok and turned back to the factory. Looking at Aaron lying on the ground like a drowned dog, he sneered. I thought it was so amazing. I think you really don't know what a black hand is. Musashi didn't say much, and ordered his men to send all the Hunter organization members in the factory to the police station. Remember to leave the rocket's logo, the League will understand what we mean. The men stood at attention instantly. Yes. Your lord. Then their Pokémon. The subordinate pointed at the unconscious Pokémon behind him. Send them to the organization's breeding house, let them turn over a new leaf, and then release them. The scene turns back to Zhang Yu. Zhang Yu slept until noon but still felt very tired. After drinking a few sips of Chaoyang beverage, he felt a little better. Well. I really can't stay up late, I can't stand it, I can't stand it. Taking off the blanket covering him, Zhang Yu smiled gently when he saw the dozing female boss beside him. After collecting the resting Pokémon into the Pokeballs, Zhang Yu returned to Golden City. The next shoot will require some props, so I need to buy some. The Golden Gym was still closed, so Zhang Yu was not in a hurry. After buying the things, he returned to the suburbs. Everyone, come on. We're shooting the second scene today. The Queen Flowers also shouted very vigorously. For the next week, Zhang Yu filmed short plays with Pokémon. Finally on the 7th day, the shooting ended. Hi, I'm so tired. Fortunately, Return of the Dragon King is a good story with a short plot. Next, I have to wait for the Game City to update the short video app. Zhang Yu brought a group of exhausted Pokémon back to Golden City to rest up. After 7 days in the suburbs, I feel like I'm turning into a grass type. But the good thing is that the acting skills of the Pokémon that participated in the performance are getting better and better. After washing up at the Pokémon Center, I went to see if the Golden Gym was open as usual. Hi? You're back. I thought I had to wait another week. To Zhang Yu's surprise, the door of the Golden Gym was open, except that there was no staff, which made him feel a little strange. Dong dong dong. After knocking on the door but getting no response, Zhang Yu walked in quietly. There was a noisy sound coming from a door in the gym. Nazi. Mom and Dad are doing this for your own good. The man's voice was a little angry. Yes, Nancy, you've been so addicted to games that you've even wasted your superpowers. It was another woman's voice, sounding somewhat helpless. No. Only games can make me happy. You never consider my feelings. Nazi screamed, suddenly opened the door and ran outside. Ah, this. Zhang Yu looked at Nazi's parents who chased out awkwardly. I seem to have come at the wrong time. Nazi's parents also noticed Zhang Yu, but the scene was a bit chaotic, so they didn't have time to deal with him. In order to make the trip worthwhile, Zhang Yu decided to follow secretly to see what was going on. All the way to a small alley, Nazi and her parents stopped. Zhang Yu hid outside in the flower bed and eavesdropped. Woo woo, I just want to play games. Little Nazi rolled on the ground, and her father covered his head with a headache. Dad, why don't you just give her the phone? No. She played for several days without eating. If she didn't have superpowers, her life would have been in danger. Damn it. If I knew who invented this game, I would use my superpowers to teach him a lesson. Zhang Yu frowned and retreated behind the flower bed. Cat, it's life-threatening. Children play games because reality is too boring. He is now traveling in the Pokémon world and has no interest in the game. He plays it purely to relax. In fact, it is because her parents have too high expectations for little Nazi, hoping that her superpowers will become stronger and stronger, and they let her practice like crazy every day. It would be strange if she didn't resist. In the end, crying, Nancy went back to the gym with her parents. But Zhang Yu didn't hear what was said just now. He followed the three again and returned to the Golden Gym.